This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Must be Monday. I'm moving kind of slow. I'm feeling down. Must be Monday now, baby. Turn on my radio. I need some sound. I'll need the greatest morning show in town. Help me get another rotten Monday off the ground.
What's today?
Monday?
Recovery Monday.
Monday?
Oh, already? Where'd the time go?
What do you mean Monday?
I hate Mondays.
Where'd the time go?
Mondays are the worst.
Oh, I hate Mondays.
So begins another wonderful work week.
Wake up, El Paso. Buzz Adams is back.
Okay. Are you done?
Let's get back to work. Showtime.
Only on 95.5 KLAQ. Thank you so much. Good morning and welcome everybody to the show for this Monday morning. And a full week of broadcasting, our final week for the KLAQ Go Fund Yourself cash codes. And we'll have the first one of the day and of the week coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Be listening for cash codes, and they could win you some big money. For instance, every day we get 10 winners. Each of them gets $100 apiece. But the top prize money is when the contest concludes. So after this week, we're going to have a drawing, and as long as you've been putting those cash codes in, you could win $30,000. Anytime you hear a cash code given out on the air, go and enter it. You can pop open the KLAQ mobile app or use your computer and go to KLAQ.com. Enter the app before midnight of the day that you get those cash codes. And we got 5 more days to play. A bunch of time for some winning. Cash codes get started at 8 o'clock and go through 5 o'clock this afternoon every day this week. Good morning, Nico Ajimian.
Good morning. Hello, senor.
Hey, how's it going? How was your weekend?
It was good. What?
What do you got? You need to button your shirt. Look at that.
No, that's how it's supposed to be.
Really? You got to have four buttons unbuttoned all the way to your navel. Then where's your gold medallion? Because you need to put that on.
You just can't
turn around. I just show Joanna. She's got to see how.
Looking good.
Yeah, look at that.
Looks good.
That's a plunging neckline.
I like a plunging neckline on a man.
You just can't. You just can't handle my younger heat.
And not a sign of hair anywhere on that chest.
Yes, there is.
Let me see. Joanna, you got to get a picture of that. That is like the most pathetic, like 4 strands.
Buzz, don't say that in front of him.
Stop.
Tell me later, where he's not around.
All right,
Joanna.
Well, you need to take the picture of it.
Don't make fun of Larry, Curly, and Moe.
What the hell happened at the Gabriel Iglesias show over the weekend?
I don't know. What, did something happen?
Everybody's been like, Buzz, did you hear what happened at Gabriel Iglesias show? Joanna.
Yeah, everyone's like, I can't wait to hear Buzz Adams on Monday morning respond.
Well, I don't know what he said. And they wouldn't let you take your phones or cameras in there. So.
I don't know what he said, but everybody in the Fit Fam comments is saying that he brought up the Deadpool again.
That was 20 years ago,
the
man.
Deadpool that we haven't done, I haven't done it since I've been on this show.
Right. We haven't done the thing where we pick out celebrities that we think are going to die.
Should we?
You know,
Should we bring that back?
Let's bring it back.
I don't know. You do it, and for the most part, nobody ever hears about it. But the one guy who does hear about it is,
Gabriel
very
does,
upset
yes.
about it 20-something years later. And it wasn't just that. I don't know. Gabriel, it just takes offense to anything I say.
Didn't he come on the show?
Yes. He's been on the show any number of times.
I really do want it. I didn't know that he said something at the concert. I thought
he does it every time he comes into town. I went through the same thing 2.5 years ago. I don't have anything bad to say about Gabriel. I never did.
Well,
But
now I
apparently
know.
it's a real thorn in his side, from what people are telling me. But
now I know why I wasn't asked to open.
I think I can think of other reasons. If you want to go down the list here, I don't think this has anything to
It's
do
got
with it.
1% to do.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm now part of Gabriel's act. That's fine. If he ever wants to come on and talk it out, it seems like this is bothering him way more, I feel like, than it should after all these years. So, I mean, if he needs me to apologize again, I'll do it. But I've already apologized for the thing. But that's not the only thing. All right, Joanna is going to have our Hollywood Cheesemate coming up in just about an hour. Entertainment news and news from Hollywood. Joanna, what do we have on the way?
Well, just in time for the Halloween season, a new Airbnb is coming, and it's based on one of the most scariest movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you know what it is in
All right.
entertainment news.
One of the most scariest.
Well, it's not that, and that's a double positive, by the
Yep.
way, but I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to say that
Thank you, Your Highness.
it can't be the Psycho House because that's on the Universal lot.
Okay.
The tour goes right by
Good
it.
guess.
Yeah, so it's not that one. All right, about an hour, we'll find out. And Nico, get something in the news ready to talk about while I deliver the weather. All
Does
right,
Glenn Powell starring in a remake of The Running Man count?
Glenn Powell for your news?
Yeah.
No, that's Hollywood. That would be Joanna's territory.
Oh, okay.
Is that true? Glenn Powell's going to be in a remake of The Running Man? Mm-hmm. Well, they may replace Schwarzenegger, but they'll never replace Richard Dawson. You don't even know who Richard Dawson is, do you?
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Yeah,
Yes,
the host of
course I
Family
do.
Feud back in the day.
Of
He was
course I know.
the sleazy, corrupt game show host on Running Man, the original. Golfers forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Sunny, near 90 today, 89, let's say. Maybe it might cross the threshold and get into the 90s. Looks like low 90s for the rest of the week, and no rain in the forecast. Not seeing any rain, not seeing any high winds either. So low 90s, a lot of sunshine. Looks like that is how every day is going to shape up this week. And guess what? The weekend too. Sunny, right around 90 degrees for the entire week. El Paso weather brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com. Or call them at the Pro Shop. The number is 915-821-2122. That's 915-821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. The air show is this weekend. So we're going to have the CEO of the Amigo Air Show. Joanna and I were talking, reminiscing partially, but just trying to remember how long has it been since they had the air show. Joanna thinks it's about a decade. I think it might be closer to 20 years.
Wasn't it last year?
No, this is the return of it because it's been a while.
Somebody might have gone out and flown a remote control plane and a couple of kites or something, but I don't think they've had the full-on air show in quite a long
I
while.
want to say maybe 10, 11 years.
Yeah, but at least a decade.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure out the real answer coming up later.
Yeah, we'll have that on the way. Somebody is calling in. They think they might know what comments were made. When was Gabriel here? Like Saturday?
I think Friday.
Oh, Friday. All right. Here you go. He appeared as Manny's fake father on Modern Family. That was like a really cool cameo.
Hey, good morning, guys. I remember when Gabriel Iglesias came It was actually, I think, about 4 years ago, and he called Buzz a pinche culo because of that. This was at the...
He called me a pichiku. What?
A pichiculo.
Don Haskins, and I remember, I think I called in and left a neckline about that. He's still doing it. I didn't go see him because actually I took my daughter to that show. Personally, I think, I don't want to turn this into a Iglesias bashing call, but he is a one-trick pony. I mean, his just thing is tell a story with sound effects. I went to the store.
Okay, I don't endorse this phone call, I'm sure. Gabriel does much more than that in his set.
Beep, beep. It's all his joke is, and people laugh. I don't know. But it does bug me that he can't get off it, because seriously, you guys haven't done Deadpool, I'm going to say, since 03, 04 maybe.
20 years.
Bringing it back.
You just got to get over it. All right, guys, have a good one.
Yeah, we haven't done Deadpool in so long. And part of it was that. It was like, oh, man, it really hurt somebody's
Why
feelings.
don't you pick Gabriel again? For our
I'm not going
to... Double down and
double
be like,
down.
yeah, that's at the top of your pick.
For our new death pool.
I didn't realize how like upsetting it was until somebody came up with their own Deadpool and put me on it. And I was like, wait,
this changes everything.
That's hurtful.
This is very hurtful.
So, yeah, I don't want to turn this into a bash on Gabriel Day, but if he ever wants to come back in, good. God, I thought we buried the hatchet over this so long ago. Nico, news headlines. What's coming up in the news today?
Hurricane Milton is headed straight for Florida.
We just had Helene, Hijklm. We've had 5 hurricanes since last week?
I guess.
Or named storms?
Yeah, I guess there's like other tropical storms and things that go on smaller that we don't know about maybe.
Yeah. They need to give it, wait until it becomes a hurricane before you give it a name.
And House Speaker Mike Johnson is not committing to bringing back the House before the election so that they can vote on hurricane relief. On Friday, President Joe Biden sent a letter to congressional leaders requesting more money above what was put into place with the short-term funding bill that was passed just last month. House Speaker Mike Johnson, the one person that could call a Congresspeople back for an emergency session to approve the funding, said in an interview yesterday, we'll be back in session pretty soon. It's like 30 days from now.
Well, 29 days until the election. And I don't know if you heard this, but Trump was saying that FEMA didn't have any money because Biden took all the money out of FEMA and gave it to illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
That turned out not to be factual, and I know that'll come as a surprise to a lot of you supporters of the former president, but it turned out not to be factual. But what was surprising was they came out and showed proof that Donald Trump diverted FEMA money to lock up immigrants during his administration.
Wow.
I mean, see, that would have gotten more than a wow in the pre-Trump era. People would have been, wait a minute, he accused them of doing this horrible thing, and then it just came out that he did. That's exactly what he did, and the most we can muster is wow. Yeah, right, is wow. It's so old hat at this point, right? We got Today in Sound clips on the way. Elon Musk was at a Trump rally over the weekend and kind of went a little cuckoo, went a little batsy-watsy.
Dark MAGA.
Yeah, dark MAGA. So we're going to hear from that coming up. Today in Sound clips on the way.
The Daily Calendar. Hey guys, it's October 7th. Today is consignment day. So instead of trashing hardly used stuff you don't need anymore, maybe bring it to a consignment store and resell it. It's LED light day. Replace some bulbs.
Save some money.
It's You Matter to Me Day. Tell the people you care about that you love them while you still can. It's also National Frap Day. Frappe Day. Frap Day. Get a cold blended coffee drink and come fight me. And that's your Daily Calendar.
Oh, frap, not fap day. Got it.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
savings off regular.
How do you make everyone's favorite buffet even better? How do you make the country's best chicken even more exciting? How do you make Thursday the best night ever? Wing night at Pizza Ranch. Boneless and traditional. A variety of sauces. All the wings you want, plus all your other buffet favorites. The country's best wing night is here, taking flight Thursday nights on the buffet. Only at Pizza Ranch. Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Prices, exclusions apply.
El Paso
Passo's own live and local. The Buzz Adams Morning Show. 95.5 KLAQ.
Coming back. 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, we're going to get into today in sound clips. Something's missing from the show. Where is Cowboys Guy? I don't have a call from Cowboys Guy. Normally at this time, I would, because last night... Here's the call as Dak Prescott's game-winning touchdown sealed it against the Steelers last night, 20-17.
Prescott. Throws, crossing, it's caught for the touchdown! It's Tolbert! Stays in the game and grabs it for the score!
I feel like somebody needs to step up. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da.
Nico.
Yeah, Cowboys. Woo! Woo! Joanna, give me a woo for the Cowboys. Woo! Buzz, give me a woo. Woo! Nico.
No.
Nico.
No.
Come on.
Come on.
Woo! Puro pinche Dak Cowboys. Dak attack Super Bowl.
Wow.
Super Bowl.
The mustache is really having an effect on you. I see you're trying to cover up the mustache by letting your goatee grow.
No, I just didn't shave this morning.
You're Latin jungle heat.
Okay.
Your natural Guatemalan heat.
You're natural Guatemalan heat.
We got a lot going on this week.
Joanna,
more
Buzz
tickets for the haunted house, and we were going to have tickets for the air show each day this week too.
Buzz was like, "That's my shirt you're wearing, Nico." I'm like,
I
"No,
have a
it's
shirt
not."
exactly like that. It's like your mom saw me wearing a shirt and went, "That shirt would look perfect on Nico." And
Shut
she went out
up.
and bought it for you.
You're the one that probably stole a shirt from me at this point,
dude.
That shirt does kind of look big on you, Nico.
Yeah,
it does
From the back.
I'm not saying you stole the shirt, but I am saying
You're like
kind
drowning in it.
You're kind of biting my style a little bit, man.
He thinks you're biting his style. You guys have the same style. That's kind of
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go ahead and get into our sound clips here, but the CEO of the air show is going to come in later today, talk about the air show, and maybe we'll get to the bottom of this. When was the last time they had and I'm talking the full air show with the rows of like 50 chalets serving food and drink and everything.
With the Blue Angels.
Thank you to
The Blue
our
Angels sometimes.
listener Araceli, who sent me the actual date. 2012 was the last Amigo air show.
So over a decade.
With the Golden Knights.
Sometimes. The Blue Angels. The Canadian Snowbirds. What's funny about that?
I don't know. That sounds like a slur.
That's their
Canadian Snowbirds.
That's their Air Force show-off pilots, I guess.
The Canadian Snowbirds? It is? Like, we have the Blue Angels and the Golden Knights, and they've got the Canadian Snowbirds.
I flew with one of them. I can't remember which one, because everybody's really
Golden Knights and the Canadian Snowbirds.
I don't know why you have to denigrate somebody's proud military.
I'm not. It's just a
organization.
funny way of saying it.
All right, they're going to have Jerome LeBlanc, a Tom Cruise impersonator. All right, let's see, featuring the U.S. Army Golden Knights.
Woo!
But look who's got top billing: Canadian Forces Snowbirds. Yeah, they're snowbirds.
I'm probably silly. They're probably like a super well known flying.
They're super well known. I mean, right up there with the Blue Knights and the Blue Angels.
Yeah.
Not Blue Knights, Blue Angels, Golden Knights. And then I wonder if the Canadian Forces Snowbirds plays like over the loudspeaker "Snowbird" by Anne Murray. Famous Canadian musician, vocalist. The Vanguard Squadron's going to be there. It's I guess that'll be Saturday and Sunday at Biggs Army Airfield. Go to AmigoAirshow.com for more information.
And now, today in sound clips.
All right, a lot of sound clips to get to. We're going to start with Hurricane Milton headed straight for Florida. And as, that part of the country is still recovering, not even close to being done recovering from Helene, You've now got Hurricane Milton to worry about. Yesterday, this is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at a press conference saying there's no way to know for sure where the storm is going to hit.
There's actually a lot of range of possibilities when it comes to this storm. So just be mindful of that and let that uncertainty influence your preparations to know that you're not going to be able to be told with 100-degree certainty where this storm is going to go this far out in advance.
DeSantis said that his state, Florida, has already mobilized a large number of people to be ready to help citizens.
And over 800 guardsmen are currently deployed in impacted areas, and we are in process of mobilizing a total of 4,000 to be deployed throughout the state. National Guard's also deploying heavy equipment to assist with debris removal, including Army and Air Force horizontal construction units, tactical high water vehicles, dump trucks, and front-end loaders.
Speaking of high water, I wonder what the tallest set of boot heels Governor Ron DeSantis has. Kevin Guthrie with the Florida Department of Emergency Management said his department is expecting the largest evacuation in Florida in 7 years.
I urge Floridians to finalize your storm preparations now, enact your plan. I highly encourage you to evacuate. We are preparing, and I have the State Emergency Response Team preparing for the largest evacuation that we have seen, most likely since 2017 Hurricane Irma.
All right, so with such a large evacuation order, they're going to need to have gas available and electric chargers for the EVs. Once again, here's from the Department of Emergency Management. Guthrie says that there are chargers and fuel stationed along the escape route to help with evacuees.
Your gas tank electric vehicle only need to be halfway full or halfway charged to ensure that you can get to some type of evacuation shelter. We have fuel and electric vehicle chargers pre-staged along evacuation routes to support the evacuations.
And Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gaultier says he's taking a hard line with evacuations, meaning they're not going to take no for an answer if you don't want to get out.
And I can tell you, and I'm going to take a different approach than what we have in the past. What I've said in the past is that we're not going to force people to leave. And we're going to be a little bit more assertive with it this time. And for those people that are in mandatory evacuation zones, in the past, mandatory evacuation orders have been issued, and bars stay open, restaurants stay open, people just going about their business in stores. That's not going to happen this time, and we're going to shut you down.
All right, they're going to be tougher this time around. Now, what is this about getting Congress back before the election for Hurricane, I guess this would be Hurricane Helene relief?
Right. So
what's your reporting going to be on this later today?
So they funded the government last month with a continuing resolution, basically punting any funding further down the way. So,
yeah, but it was like 3 months, right?
Yes, it was 3 months of funding, I think till January at least. And I guess this hurricane season is a lot more devastating than they planned.
We got to get back there.
So Joe Biden sent a letter to Mike Johnson on Friday asking for additional emergency funding. Mike Johnson said, well, do you really need it?
He was non-committal. Mike Johnson would not commit to bringing back the House before the November elections for hurricane relief. While visiting Georgia last week, President Biden told the press that any delay by Congress, if they delay getting federal disaster funding, it is not acceptable.
Can't wait.
Look, we got to move the process.
Can't wait. People need help now.
And we're still talking about Hurricane Helene, of course. There are still people unaccounted for from that one. Dolly Parton. Yes, I believe you've heard of her. Maybe the most popular person in the world right now. Dolly Parton committed $1 million of her personal money to Hurricane Helene relief and revealed that she has fundraised another $1 million through her business connections. So here is the divine Dolly talking about that.
Today, I wanted to announce that from myself personally, just from my own bank account, I'm donating $1 million today. But there's a lot to be done, and we're trying to find other ways to even raise more funds.
You know, one of her most recognizable songs is Jolene, and this was Hurricane Helene. It seems like she could have just put a little effort. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. She totally did.
Helene, 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 you came in here and broke us all apart. Helene, 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 but we're all here to mend these broken hearts.
Ah.
Hey.
Queen Dolly.
Maybe you've seen this in a movie. I know I have. For instance, Snakes on a Plane.
Okay.
Somebody who's not a pilot has to land a plane because the pilot's out of commission or whatever.
I've always wanted that to happen to me in real life, where somebody's like, we need a pilot, and I get to go fly the plane.
But what if you're responsible for hundreds of fiery deaths?
Oh, that would happen because I'm not a pilot.
Yeah, right. That's what makes this so dramatic. A small twin-engine plane was flying from Las Vegas to Monterey, California on Friday when the pilot passed out. So the passenger on board had no choice but to land the plane herself. Here is air traffic control talking her through all the steps to make a safe landing.
Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so make sure you add a little bit of power. We got to add power. We're going a little too slow. Make sure you add power. Your altitude is looking good, 5,900 feet. Try to stay level at 6. You're in a right-hand turn. Continue that right-hand turn. We're going to set you up so that as you level off from your turn, you're going to be straight in for Bakersfield Airport. Is that all right?
Okay.
Oh, my God.
She landed the plane. She was fine. The pilot who had passed out was taken to the hospital, but she was fine. All right. There was a guy that was caught hiding under vehicles at a car wash so that he could stare at women's feet. God, that seems like so much effort. And, you know, then you're in the news and it's probably a crime to look at a woman's feet. I don't get the whole feet thing. Here's an employee of the car wash. This happened in Arizona, by the way, about catching Jesse Michael Johnson in the act.
Going through the video footage, I watched it happen. She was already in the process of calling the cops. There's no way he's coming back for a third time. He keeps walking back and forth, and you'll see him do that. He's watching to see what she's doing. When we talk to her, she's in the back seat vacuuming her car on that driver's side, and he slips up underneath that front tire. He was out underneath the vehicle for about 5 to 6 minutes, I want to say, and then he slips out and goes to this back passenger tire and is like trying to fiddle with it, making it seem like he's there the entire time.
Wait a minute, you wouldn't know if somebody was under your car looking at you, like somebody could just slither under your car while you're washing it?
Slither.
Or whatever. It sounded like he's a real creeper. Literally, like he has to creep to get under the car. A YouTuber crashed his $200,000 sports car while distracted by his phone, of course. Because if you're a YouTuber, I guess you got to get everything up there on YouTube. 20-year-old influencer Jack Doherty. Wait, wasn't that Alec Baldwin's character on 30 Rock?
No, Jack Donaghy.
Oh, well, this is Jack Doherty. Crashed his new $200,000 sports car near Miami. It was being live streamed at the time. That's how we have this audio. His friend was the one filming from the passenger seat. It shows Jack checking his phone while doing 70 in his McLaren in the rain. They hit a barricade. The car was totaled. There's footage of the crash and then random people pulling them from the car.
No! Help! Break the window! Oh! Help! Oh! No, my car, bro. Dude, my car.
Okay, so that's the kid, right? Let me explain what's going on there. They never stopped recording. They were recording through this whole thing. So Jack looked directly into the camera while people were pulling him out. He doesn't say thank you to anybody helping him, and he only expresses concern about his car, not his friend who's bleeding from his face in the passenger seat.
Oh, my God.
That's right. The other guy had blood streaming down his face. But all the other guy, Jack, does is hand him another phone and says, film on that one too. Later, he can be heard directing someone else to, quote, make it look good.
No! Are you shitting me, bro? Michael, are you good? Michael, are you okay?
Michael's the friend
Michael's
with the blood
all bleeding.
Yeah. Thanks for the concern, dude.
Oh my God, bro. Bro, my whole far, bro.
This reminds me of a yuppie joke. So a yuppie's driving. He's driving his brand new BMW.
All right.
And he gets in a wreck, and it's a horrible collision. And people come up to help him, and he's like, my BMW. And so he goes, dude, your arm's been cut off. And the guy stops for a second. He goes, my Rolex.
Bro, my Rolex.
No, Michael, here. Michael, film on that phone too. Oh my God. Can you film on here on the phone? And you can make it look good. Look through here the whole time. Bro, where Michael is.
Make it look good.
Make it look good. So anyway, Doherty,
does this bother you at all?
Yeah, because they could have wiped out a van with a family full of kids. Just quit being jackasses out on the road. I know you.
Well, let's not say. I'm not saying that. Okay, that part is bad. The whole distracted. But what about like the afterwards of them filming the whole rescue and like needing to like live the life?
That's the least of it. I mean, just the fact that you were doing it and
that you're going 70 miles an hour looking at your phone. Yeah.
So Jack could face charges for distracted driving. His 21st birthday is tomorrow. He has been banned from the streaming site KLAQ. All right. I got one more.
The way you said that was like, and I don't know what this last part means, but he's been banned from KLAQ.
Yeah, I don't know what KLAQ is. I bet there are plenty of people who don't know what KLAQ is.
Yeah, I don't really know what it is.
Elon Musk went to a Trump rally over the weekend. He went to the one in Butler, Pennsylvania, where the would-be assassin shot President Trump.
Can you Google Elon Musk jumping?
No, it's in the video.
Okay,
here, I'll play a little bit.
The memes. They've photoshopped him out while he's jumping and put him into a bunch of things.
He does some jumping. Don't cut him any slack on that. You didn't cut Tom Cruise any when he jumped on Oprah's couch. Okay.
President Trump must win to preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America. Text people now.
Isn't this foreign influence in our elections?
Right. Get out of here.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. This guy's from South Africa.
Now. And then make sure they actually do vote.
I was thinking maybe 5 years ago an endorsement from Elon Musk would have been a positive thing. I'm not convinced that it's such a positive thing now.
If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction.
At one point in the speech, Trump gets, and then Elon Musk jumps up and down for a while. So that's what Nico was talking about. And Trump says, he's the American dream. Everybody's children all dream of the same thing, having $200 billion. I'm like, no, you freak. Nobody dreams of having $200 billion.
He's all like, I do.
Well, other than you.
Look, Elon Musk.
Okay, so back to the commentary. But what was the jumping like? What have they done with the memes?
Can you please Google Elon Musk jumping memes? I mean, it's just hilarious.
The memes are hilarious.
Yeah, they are hilarious. Wait, go to the one with Rafiki holding him up as Simba.
So I guess he did a full, almost hands in the air, jumping as high as he could. It looks like you got some pretty good air on that one, actually.
It's just awkward all the way around.
No, listen.
So weird.
Good luck driving that Tesla around today.
Darkest timeline we are living in.
Yeah, darkest.
Attention Tesla owners. If you've been unduly embarrassed by the actions of Elon Musk, you may be entitled to compensation. If you felt uneasy at the sight of Elon on the border in an ill-fitting cowboy hat, or felt uncomfortable seeing Elon's milky white man boobs on vacation in Greece, you may be suffering from muscothelioma. Call the Muscothelioma Attorneys Network, like Dan S. of Henderson, Nevada.
I was so embarrassed seeing Elon jumping around at that campaign rally like my drunk uncle at a wedding reception. And I know embarrassment. I bought one of his Cybertrucks.
Even if you're a doucher who bought a Cybertruck, you may qualify for a cash settlement. Whether it's platforming Nazis or giving your child a name that resembles that of a Star Wars droid, if you can't get the musk of shame off of you, call the Muscothelioma Attorneys Network at 1-800-ELON-BE-GONE.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10, a very next day.
Fall into big savings, all in the Baker's app. Buy 2, get 2 free on 12 packs of delicious Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up with your card. Then get 3-pound rolls of flavorful Kroger 80% lean ground beef for $2.99 a pound with your card and a digital coupon. Shop these deals at your local Kroger today, or tap the screen now to download the Baker's app to save big today. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Prices and product availability subject to change. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Help even if you have bad credit. Go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
The biggest upset for the weekend was in college football. Unranked Vanderbilt knocked off number 1 Alabama. Nico, do you know what college fans do when they're really, really happy or upset? You know, I pulled off a major upset.
They pull out the goal.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Did they do that? They took out the...
They pulled up the goalpost. They marched it down to the street to a river and threw it in the river.
That's funny.
The Vanderbilt fans did because it was in Nashville. Alabama
threw the goalpost
in a river.
In a Vanderbilt down by the river.
Major stunning upset for the Crimson Tide. Staying on football for just a minute. Bravo is doing a reality series about the Kansas City Chiefs' wives and girlfriends.
Of course.
2 notable non-participants. Do you have this coming up, Joanna?
No, I don't. I didn't
but you know
about
it, right?
No, I didn't.
Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes are not in it.
The 2 big ones that you would want to see this show for.
That's right. I'm trying to think of what I could compare that to. I mean...
Golden Girls without Sophia.
Yeah. Who would want to watch that?
Golden Girls without Sophia and Rose. You know?
Yeah.
These are the 2 they want to see. Be like if the Beatles were all alive, having a Beatles reunion to leaving John and Paul out.
Yeah.
There won't be Taylor Swift or Brittany Mahomes, but all the other players' wives, like, I don't know. I can't think of a single other one.
Are
going to participate.
There's the wife who's like really good at making jackets.
There's a wife that's good at making. Oh, then there's the kicker's wife who doesn't own a pair of shoes and stays in the kitchen all the time.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, the trad wife.
Harrison Butker.
Butker.
She's probably going to be on it.
What a Butker.
The new Joker opened to a disappointing $40 million. I got to tell you, even with the bad reviews on Friday, I was still going to go see it, but the bad word of mouth just kept coming in on Joker 2 to the point that I don't think I'm ever going to go see it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say it's just not good.
All my friends were like,
I don't want to taint the beautiful memory that was Joker.
Yeah, Joker was a solid, very grounded movie that happened to be about a supervillain. It was so good. Let's see. Keanu Reeves made his professional auto racing debut Saturday. He spun out, but he did end up finishing the race in 25th place. It doesn't say how many racers there were. I wouldn't be surprised if there were 25 racers.
He's a pretty big gearhead. Like his I think he owns a motorcycle company.
Yeah.
And they're all about like designing really good motorcycles. I don't know.
Like motorcycles, if you saw one, you'd go, whoa. Tonight on TV.
Wait. Go back to where you had Keanu Reeves, because there was a really funny line. It said that Al Pacino's baby mama. Do you want
Noor Al-Fala was spotted in a car with a much younger man. 68-year-old Bill Maher.
Oh my God, that is much younger.
It is. Yeah, it is much younger. But also,
Wait, she's not with Al Pacino?
I know.
They're not together? Love is dead.
No, I think they might still be together.
Oh.
You go out
they just
and
had
you have a good time.
They have an agreement.
Oh! But don't show Bill Maher your hoo-ah! As I was about to say, more on TV tonight, speaking of football and the Kansas City Chiefs. Monday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs host the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. Steve is going to have his watch party over on the east side. Dancing with the Stars tonight on Disney. Did they move Dancing with the Stars to Disney Plus? Tonight is Soul Train night. You guys don't remember Soul Train, do you?
No.
Soul Train. It was like a dance party show.
Okay.
Yeah, who's the host of Soul Train?
Don Cornelius. Tonight on NBC.
Were you allowed to watch Soul Train in your house, or was it considered evil?
I didn't want to watch. I mean, it was that and American Bandstand. I wasn't interested in it when I was a kid. Like, that didn't interest me at all.
Music is by the devil.
Well, it was on Saturday, and Saturday, once we got cable, was the day we could watch wrestling from different parts of the country almost every single hour of the day. So Soul Train was not going to make the cut ever.
Sorry to Soul Train.
The 2-hour fourth season premiere of Superman and Lois on the CW. I watched the first episode of this one, I guess 4 seasons ago, and I thought it was pretty good.
It's good.
But
real good.
Not good enough to hook me, I guess, because I didn't end up watching it a lot.
I just started watching DC's Stargirl.
Okay.
With Luke Wilson, Amy Smart.
Go on.
Just a bunch of really good actors are in it.
What's it on?
Max?
What's it called?
Stargirl.
And that's a superhero?
Stargirl.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
That's on Max. Yeah.
Yeah, she was part of, Starboy was the original character.
They transgendered her?
Yeah.
Okay. And are people freaking out over that, or nobody cares?
No, nobody cares. It's good.
Tonight on CBS 60 Minutes has an election special. We need to get to the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events. How are we on the break so far today, Joanna?
Well, so far you're good to go.
Oh, good. All right, let's go ahead and look at the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events.
Whoops, wrong
That's
one.
good news, bad news.
I know, I'm sorry.
Joanna.
You're really Albertoing it up right now.
I know.
We're also going to have the CEO of the Amigo Air Show. The Amigo Air Show returns after a dozen years. Thank you for the listener who set us straight on that. Today is Blue Shirt Day in recognition of World Day of Bullying Prevention.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing mine.
So I won't bully you anymore. Thank God Joanna's still wearing a black shirt.
Thank you.
Today is World Cotton Day. And I'm a little repetitive here, but it is World Day of Bullying Prevention. Birthdays today include Tom York of Radiohead. He's 56 today. Simon Cowell, the mean judge on, I can't honestly, American Idol, was that what he was on?
Oh, he's on America's
It seems
Got
like he's
Talent
on
right
a
now.
dozen different things, but okay, he's 65. Yo-Yo Ma is the world's most famous cellist. He's 69. And I'll prove that to you. Name another cellist.
Itzhak Perlman.
He was a violinist.
Wow.
I got the strings.
I think it should count for something.
Thank you, Joanna.
Bon Jovi's longtime drummer, Tico Torres, is 71. The drummer for Bon Jovi.
Tico!
Vladimir Putin, the evil supervillain in charge of Russia, and Donald Trump's bestie, is 72 years old today. Joy Behar from The View is 82.
Really?
82?
She looks good for her age. She can get it still.
Okay. This date in history in 1985, Palestinian gunmen hijacked a cruise ship called the Aquila Loro with more than 400 passengers on board. One passenger, a 69-year-old American named Leon Klinghoffer, was killed when these terrorists threw him overboard while he was still in his wheelchair. The 4 terrorists surrendered 3 days later. And happy anniversary to Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen. 29 years ago, the two wed. Today is their 29th anniversary.
Aww.
Is she a crush of yours?
Oh, Mary Steenburgen. Yeah, of course. I mean, why wouldn't she be? She's lovely. Has a sweet Southern accent. Very motherly in a hot way.
In a hot way.
And I gotta put this in. I saved it for last because I want to do the song that everybody's going to want to hear. Any excuse, right? John Mellencamp is 73. The singer, songwriter,
Mr. Chili Dog himself.
Yeah. Hurt So Good, Small Town, Pink Houses, I Fight Authority, and of course Jack and Diane, perhaps his most well-known song. It went all the way to number 1, and we've got a version of Jack and Diane, and in it they only sing the lyric "Suck it on a chili dog." The lyrics go on to say, "Suck it on a chili dog, outside taste freeze."
Sucking on a chili dog, 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 chili dog, sucking on a chili dog, sucking on a dog, sucking on a chili dog, sucking on, sucking on chili dog.
Yeah, break it down.
Sucking on a dog, sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on chili, sucking on a dog. Sucking on a chili dog, sucking on chili dog. A little ditty about Jack and Diane. 2 American kids sucking on a chili dog.
Happy birthday, John Mellencamp.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. All with
easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer. St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, we're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz in the morning show. 95.5 The Q.
The estranged brother of Madonna passed away on Friday. He was only 63 years old. He must have been the little brother then.
Estranged?
In her Instagram tribute, Madonna admits that they hadn't been speaking, but says, quote, "When my brother got sick, we found our way back to each other. I did my best to keep him alive as long as possible." Well, that's very nice, but you should have got doctors involved. Yeah, I forgot what the issue was, but something about they hadn't spoken for many, many, many years.
What?
¿Qué pasa? You sound distressed. What
Is
it?
there like a biography or a biopic about Madonna?
No.
I wish I knew more about her
they
life.
were talking about somebody. Somebody said that Julie Garner from Ozark should really, they should do it while she can play her.
It. I think they
And then they
deal.
backed out of it or
Right.
something, right?
Yeah.
Joanna has the Hollywood Cheese Maid. That's on the way in just a few minutes. Anybody who went to see Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, at where was he? The Don Haskins Center?
The Dawn.
If you went to go see him, I just want you to know,
Yes.
I haven't done anything to make Gabriel mad in like 20 years.
I'm
This
not
is all-
sure he said anything this time because
I got hit by 2 people when I walked in the building today.
Dude, go to the Fit Fam comics.
I was look. Well, you know what? I'm going to go to the Fit Fam Comics because I was.
Grizz told me, and then when Joanna came in, she's like, "Oh, what?"
I was like, what happened?
All right, I guess.
You know how I found out? Lisa.
Of course.
Lisa messaged me right away, and she was like, "What did Buzz say?"
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It goes back to 2003, man.
Awakening from my afternoon nap. What are you talking about?
Google's top "Is It Weird" questions of 2024. Wanted to know, they asked, or Google saying these are the questions that people ask.
That is so
that begins
funny.
With, is it weird too?
Okay? I just did a Google search of my own like this.
Is it weird?
Okay, so on Friday, I was invited by a friend. They have a dog, and it was before my open mic, and they said, "Will you meet me at Mutt's Cantina?" I said, "Sure, I'll meet you there." I didn't have a dog at the time.
Is it weird to go to a dog cantina
without a dog? Yeah, I didn't have him at the time, but I lived next to the place, so I went to go meet my friend. And
did they have a dog?
They did.
Oh, well.
If you guys were sitting at a table dogless, that would have been weird.
That would have
I
been
felt weird walking. I felt like I was going to a playground for children without a kid.
Checking, like, hey, where's your playground without a kid?
Yeah, I felt like I went to
Where's
Chuck E.
your
Cheese
dog,
without a kid.
weirdo?
Yeah. She's like, "No, come here. Give me the other dogs. I'm going to touch
I'm here
them."
to see the other doggies.
Yeah.
And what did Google say? Was it weird?
It did. It said, no, people would go all the time to dog parks alone.
They just like to see the
if you meet up with somebody.
Yeah. But I did Google, is it weird to go
to a dog cantina without a dog?
Yeah.
They told you no, huh? Joanna, I guess I'll I'll run these by you.
And then I'm going to act as Google and tell you if it's weird or not.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Google, is it weird to go to a bar alone?
Totally weird.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute.
Hey, Mike. Totally weird. No, it's not weird to go to... Who says it's weird to go to a bar alone?
Joanna just did, and she's playing the part of Google. No, it's not.
Like, if I were Google, I'd be like, hell yeah, it's weird.
It's not weird. No. I go to bars alone all the time.
So
and leave alone, too.
You're only proving my statement. Yes, it's weird.
All right, Google, is it weird to talk to yourself?
Totally weird.
Okay, I see what you're doing. You're just going to say everything's totally weird?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to play this game.
Why not?
Hey.
Fine.
Is it weird to talk to yourself?
No, it's not weird. Sometimes I need professional
Now,
advice.
I usually am muttering under my breath.
You mutter?
But if I'm alone at home,
on the way to the bathroom
talk
right now?
completely loud, except I disguise it by pretending I'm having a full-on conversation with my dog, like using sentence structure and human talk, and and it's just I'm doing it out loud, and in my mind I rationalize it by saying I'm talking to Spark.
On his way to the bathroom, I could just hear him muttering, "Sucking on to the dog.
Sucking on to the dog."
I was doing that over here.
Yeah.
too.
That's everybody. Everybody who was listening to the morning show is going to be doing that all day. Oh, this one is different. Google was asked many times, is it weird to go to a concert alone?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
That one's super weird.
That's the one I say no to. No. It is not.
Have you been to a
is
concert
best
by
to
yourself?
Go by yourself than to miss out on seeing a band.
You've gone to a concert?
Wait for Lisa to get ready.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that. I've never been to a concert by myself.
That seems like a social
very,
thing.
very bizarre.
No, not at all.
Is it weird to go to the movies alone? I don't find anything weird about it, and I might even prefer it.
You prefer it?
Sometimes.
Is this list just shaming alone people? Like people without a partner? Because I don't find it weird to go to the movies alone, a bar,
find a
or to
concert
talk to...
weird?
Yeah, I find the concert one
At the
weird.
concert, you actually don't even need to talk to the person next to you because you're busy looking at the concert.
Yeah,
but it's fun to share it, the experience with somebody.
Everything is always fun if you're sharing it with someone.
You know why, Joanna? It's an experience I wouldn't even go to by myself, so I can't even
So
imagine.
you would rather miss out on seeing somebody perform.
Exactly. I would rather miss out.
I would only go with somebody.
Oh, but you'd go to a bar alone? That's weird.
I just did
That's
last
totally
night.
weird.
Yeah, I go get my drink.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
That's the one I find weird.
Write a little book.
Over 50% of people at any bar at any given time are
Or
there
alone.
alone.
Yeah, I see a lot of other lonely people.
Well, now there's 2 less lonely people in the world. Is it weird to eat alone at a restaurant?
Again, no, this is just shaming me.
Hey, Google, is it weird to eat at a restaurant alone? Damn it, I thought it was going to pick up on my phone. It did not.
What? Hey, Siri, is it weird to eat alone at a restaurant?
Damn it, Siri. Even she doesn't want to answer.
Only when you do it, Buzz.
There's nothing called eat on your calendar. All right, Siri's way behind the time. Siri, you've been left in the dust by AI. Sorry. Is it weird to eat at a restaurant alone? No. I usually get it to go, but I was doing that a long time when I lived in Monterey, and I didn't know anybody, and I also don't cook, so I would go to restaurants alone all the time.
I prefer it. I get my phone, I watch some TV at Cece's.
But restaurants are kind of set up for people to eat, together.
Oh, just go to Cece's, man.
I used to...
At 3 p.m.
Buffet for one.
Buffet for one. Give me this booth to myself.
I would go in, I'd order something to go, and I'd sit at the bar until my food was ready and have a beer. That was like my typical dinner.
But see, back in your day, you didn't have like a TV in your phone. Like, what would
that
you?
Is very true.
What would you? You would just sit there and twiddle your thumbs.
What no, there'd be sports on TV. I didn't care about any of them, but I, just look at that.
Right.
Occasionally, somebody'd chat with you. Not very often, but
that would be weird for me. Yeah. I just got my phone. Somebody tries to talk to me. Okay. I see you're by yourself.
You're right, though. All of the is it weird questions that Google says they got are kind of about doing things alone.
Hello, singles.
It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man.
Joanna, tell us more. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Good news for both of you guys. Hulu has renewed The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives for an additional 20 episodes, according to Deadline.
No, that was one. I couldn't finish the one episode.
It was almost like vomit-inducing.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The series follows the scandalous world of a group of Mormon mom influencers led by self-acclaimed Mom Talk founder Taylor Frankie Paul, which then implodes when they get caught in the midst of
Taylor Frankie Paul, I thought were the Ramones.
What's funny, Joanna, is how you said she is like the self-appointed, because in the first episode, she's like, I'm the one that created this.
But if I watched enough of it to know this, these Mormon wives were never good Mormons to begin with. They was like, I had a wild side. It's like, yeah, you're 23. You still have a wild. What are you talking about? It's somehow they got into... one of these traditional marriage types of things, and some of them, at least, the Taylor Frankie Grace or whatever her name is, she's always been a hellion. So she's the one who was kind of instigating all
She was kind of like influencing
the group
others.
sex. Yeah.
Oh, well, she says, I created Mom Talk, guys.
Oh, that's so cringy.
I know.
The new episodes are set to launch in the spring. As voting kicks off for the 2025 Grammy Awards, Recording Academy members who are looking to nominate one of the biggest artists of the year, Zach Bryan, won't find his name anywhere on the ballot. That's because Bryan has declined to submit his music for consideration. Joining the likes of The Weeknd, Macklemore, Frank Ocean, and other high-profile artists who've opted out of the Grammy consideration in the past, Bryan has reportedly chosen to skip the event based on, quote, feeling that he does not feel comfortable with award shows making music competitive.
Yeah, but there are a lot of actors who've said that and accepted their Academy Award.
Accepted it?
Well, maybe not in person, like Marlon Brando's sent a pretend Indian to go get his.
Well,
you know that story?
I do, yes.
Oh, of course.
The discomfort hasn't stopped Bryan from participating in the past. In fact, he actually won a Grammy earlier this year for his duet with Casey Musgraves called I Remember Everything. But the move generally fits with his ethos of challenging the machinery of the music industry.
The machine.
Also, he's the guy who released a live album titled All My Homies Hate Ticketmaster.
Wait, is he a country artist?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, he definitely has the name of a country artist.
Zach Bryan.
Yeah. That sounds like a country artist.
Yeah, I don't know what he played, but if he's doing a duet with Casey Musgraves, I guess.
Yeah, probably country.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. In addition to shedding light on the 1989 Menendez murder case, another byproduct of Ryan Murphy's Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, has been the resurgence of the popular late 1980s, early 90s singing duo Milli Vanilli. Until Murphy's show, the band and their infamy had been used as an easy punchline or are just a distant pop culture memory in people's heads. But now a younger generation is rediscovering the magic of their sound, and a considerable spike in the band's streaming numbers prove it. According to Billboard, Blame It on the Rain saw a 68% jump in its numbers of streams within 4 days of the show starting to stream on Netflix. In the show's premiere, the song serves not just as the episode title, but also as the soundtrack to a wild scene in which Eric and Lyle sing along to the hit on the radio after they purchased the shotguns that they would later use to gun down their parents.
What?
And in typical TikTok fashion, the scene and others have been edited together in what can only be described as thirst-trapped videos, lusting after the actors who portray the notorious brothers.
The Menendez. Okay, so now they've sexied up the Menendez
sexied up the brothers.
Are they shipping the brothers?
Yes. Billboard also reports that streams of this one, Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You, increased a colossal 258% between September 20th and 23rd.
So, I mean,
Girl, I'm gonna miss you.
You know the controversy over Milli Vanilli winning the Grammy for Best New Artist.
Well, Vanilli was the one with all the talent.
No, neither one of them.
Neither Milli
one of them.
nor Vanilli
They
had
got
the
professional singers to sing the songs, and these two went out to lip sync with what had been recorded by the professional singers.
Sadly, Rob, one half of Milli Vanilli, isn't alive to see the songs he once mouthed the words to have his second life. He died in 1998 from an overdose. Fab, however, is alive and well, and if his Instagram is any indication, he appears to be basking in the legacy of the scandalous pop group.
Too bad he didn't OD on fake drugs.
Oof.
Wait, what year did the one guy pass away?
1998.
And which one passed away?
Rob.
And the other one's name is?
Fab.
Okay.
Were you a Milli Vanilli fan, Buzz?
No.
No? Dude, this song played constantly in my house. Like somebody should have checked on my sister.
Did your sister really like this?
She loved Milli. This one and Blame It on the Rain.
Blame It on the Rain is the one that I can't get out of my ears forever.
I love that one. And finally, the Terrifier horror franchise is about to unleash its third installment on the movie-going public. And if you're someone who's a bit squeamish, Nico, then maybe you'll want to pass on this one. In the UK last week, the film was given a screening, and the crowd definitely had opinions, at least the ones that stayed behind. Because according to Signature Entertainment, who organized the screening, movie theater staff reported 11 people walking out and one person vomiting during the screening.
Mm-hmm.
The distribution company commented on this, saying, quote, "If the Terrifier 3 event impacted you, please let us know if you need more support at this time. If you're feeling unwell, please find a member of staff. Staff trained in first aid are on site."
That's the one with Art the Clown,
the Clown,
That's
yeah.
what a better endorsement for.
Of course,
yeah,
they would love to promote that people were
Yeah.
passing out and getting sick and might need counseling because of this movie.
Support. Reports of audience members walking out and growing ill during Terrifier screenings are nothing new for the franchise, which began with 2016's original. 2022's Terrifier 2 saw a reported major increase in its box office performance that appeared related to reports of audience members passing out and vomiting at screenings.
That's an old trick, and so old, in fact, that...
Wait, what is?
Alfred Hitchcock did a gimmick where when Psycho was showing, he had a nurse, like in a nurse's uniform, and they were there to apply smelling salts to anybody who might pass out, as if, like that it happened
Just
so
in
much.
case. Terrifier 3 releases in theaters October 11th.
And you said it's mostly like gore.
It's a lot of gore.
Yeah, too much gore to me. Like Saw, I think is too gory.
Is it more gory than
is it more
Saw?
gory than
Oh,
Saw?
more gore. Yes, definitely.
I'm trying to think of like my limit for gore. Bone
Hostel?
Tomahawk. Hostel was a bad one.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Hostel was tough.
It's right
Hostel
up
2
there
was
with
tough, too.
Hostel, yeah.
Coming to theaters, all of the critics are talking about Terrifier 3. Richard Roper calls it disgusting. I felt dizzy, nauseous, and I threw up during the movie. Peter Travers from Rolling Stone calls it so scary and disgusting I threw up in my popcorn bucket. Then a few hours later, I threw up in my car because I was thinking about the movie again. It was awful. And USA Today calls it the most foul, horrible, disgusting thing that's ever been put on the big screen. We've decided to stop reviewing movies altogether because everybody on our staff is busy throwing up because they watched Terrifier 3. Why would somebody make a movie like this? Oh, great, we have to throw up again. Terrifier 3, coming soon to theaters. Oh, great, now I'm gonna throw up.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. Oh, with
Bud Light is the official of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
All right, Mingo has an Am I the A-hole?
Yes, you are the a-hole.
You'll give us the details. Do you want to give us the headline now?
I kind of do. Okay.
Or do you want us to pick out of 3 choices or 2 choices?
Yes.
That's what you want us to do?
Yes.
All right, give me the 2 choices.
All right.
Or 3 choices.
Am I the a-hole for telling my sister she is a jealous virgin?
Okay.
Or am I the a-hole for agreeing with my mom that it's kind of pathetic my wife can't cook?
Wife cook?
You're for the wife cook?
Yeah.
Joanna?
Yeah.
All right.
so we're going to do that one?
We'll do the wife cooks. Can't cook.
California just became the first state to ban sell-by dates. And sell-by dates, I've had a strong position that has remained consistent over time. I think they put those way earlier than they need to be. You throw out perfectly good food, and they do that so you'll buy more of the food.
Well,
I don't think they put their sell-by date. They put their sell-by date as early as they're legally allowed to do it, so you'll throw away perfectly good sour cream or butter. Or
is sell-by the same as an expiration date?
I mean, similar. It's information that's listed on there that tells you.
Well, semantically, they are different terms. One is saying, well, we just made this. You have to, we have to get it out of the store by a certain time.
So California, the way they describe it is they're simplifying how dates are used on products to cut back on food waste and to reduce the cost to the consumer. The law takes effect on July 1st, not of next year, but of 2026. It prohibits the use of consumer-facing sell-by dates and also requires standardized language for date labels. At that point, date labels can only say one of 2 things. Best if used, but so the use by date is still going to be there to indicate peak quality, and use by to designate food safety. So you could put best if by as like, okay, it's going to taste maybe a little better or fresher or whatever, but it's not bad until the use by date comes
right.
up. I mean, you think about it, how many people are starving? The fact that we throw out probably more food in the United States alone than starving countries. Starving countries could survive on what we throw away if there were a magic wand that made that food automatically go to wherever it was needed. I hate food waste. And I see people throw away perfectly good stuff. It's like, well, why did you throw that away? Because the date says that it's bad. I feel like that's really misleading on the part of the people who make the products or label the products.
I agree. Not everybody eats leftover sushi, though, like you do.
If it's what do you mean?
Not everybody
the next
eats.
Day?
No, I've seen you eat 5-day-old sushi.
Yeah.
It passed the smell test to him.
It did.
So.
I've seen you eat some truly horrible things out of your fridge.
Okay, and yet here I am. I don't miss as much work as you do.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I'm reading about this, and I feel like it is vindicating me in a lot of ways.
It's something you're very passionate about, I can tell.
The problem with sell-by dates was that they weren't supposed to be used by the consumers. The dates were meant to indicate to stores when you need to rotate the stock. So it's like sell-by date is, well, it's been on the shelf too long. But that led to stores nixing perfectly good food from shelves and consumers thinking that items past that date would make you sick or were spoiled. And that is not the case. We live in such so much opulence in this country. And it may not feel like it to you.
Opulence.
But that we have things that try to trick you into throwing away perfectly good food before it's gone bad. A luxury that not everyone in the world has. The idea is that just making the phrasing easier to understand will keep food from being tossed out too soon. There aren't any federal requirements for the language on food date labels, so California can set their own, only on baby formula. That's the only exception. Most expiration dates are just educated guesses by the manufacturer, and let me tell you, if they can pick an earlier date or a later date and get away with it, they'll pick the earlier date, so you'll have to go back and buy their product again. Experts say you should rely on your own senses to determine if a food is still in good shape, particularly, everybody, how it smells.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I read something else that's semi-related. They said that if your bread has a little bit of mold on it,
yeah,
you're not supposed to just pick the mold off and eat the rest of the bread, because I've been doing that for a long time. It's like, there's a little green corner here. I'll just pick that off and use it.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to continue eating it, Buzz. But you're okay. Look at you.
Yeah, it hasn't done me any harm. Or maybe it has. Yeah, but there was a big thing about if you got moldy bread, throw the whole bread away. And that's hard for me to do, man. It's hard for me to throw away something that I think is still edible. All right.
Have you heard of leftover pasta syndrome?
I've heard of that just recently.
Right.
I didn't know it was a thing.
I've never heard of that word combination.
I think somebody does.
Well, it's fried rice syndrome.
Fried rice. Yeah, there it is.
Is the
but it is also for
term.
pasta.
Fried rice doesn't reheat very good, I've found.
Oh, it does not.
Well,
no.
this doesn't have anything to do with the reheating part of it, but a 20-year-old just died from fried rice syndrome. And what it is, a significant amount of bacteria called Bacillus cereus shows up in your food, and it can kill you. But this is just like from just pasta, like a leftover spaghetti or fried rice.
No, never heard of it.
Which is why you're not supposed to eat those things. You're not supposed to eat fried rice. Like, don't eat any leftover rice. Like, leftover rice is gets the bacteria more than anything else.
It's almost like the food is trying to tell you don't eat me, because that fried rice gets like you're eating glass if it's in there too long. What was the other food item you were saying? Pasta.
Pasta, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not one of the best. I mean, not like pizza. Cold pizza is better than the morning after than it was the night before, I think.
This doesn't have to do with taste, quality, and much more to do with like what's just susceptible to getting bacteria.
You're still talking about the guy who died.
Yeah.
Here is Sandra, who is calling in, so talking live to us this morning. Hi, Sandra.
Good morning, guys.
Hey.
I wanted to comment on the food waste issue. Yeah, I'm with Buzz. I hate food waste myself.
Hate it. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah, I hate it. It's money wasted down the drain. It just makes me so sad to think, like Buzz said earlier, people around the world are starving, and here we are throwing away food. I take restaurant leftovers home. I eat those. I have stuff that goes after the sell-by date. I eat that, and I use the Buzz method. If it smells good, if it looks good, if it looks fine, then
don't get me wrong. I will throw stuff out. Like if I smell the milk and it's obviously turned, right. I'm gonna give that to the dog. I'm just kidding. I might actually.
No, you totally give that to Spartan.
No, but I'm with you, and I get made fun of by my family all the time because they're like, oh, you're gross. Oh, you're going to get sick. And like Buzz, I think it's made me stronger for it. So no,
Right.
I'm with you, Buzz. I hate food waste.
Sandra, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
Exactly.
Nietzsche said that. Okay, thanks, Sandra.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling.
You found somebody to commiserate with.
Yeah. And I don't think it's being gross. I think it's just being,
Oh, it's totally gross. You're very gross at home. Like, I would just see you eating just like 2-week-old like mac and cheese or something.
No,
like,
mac and cheese doesn't last at my house for 2 weeks.
A lot of people do the thing where a lot of people do the smell test. If it's okay, my mom does it. She's like, smell it. If it's fine, go ahead and drink it.
Yeah.
But Buzz takes it to like an extreme.
Joanna, we have 2 more or 1 more break this hour?
2 more.
Oh, we better take a break then. So give me the headline that we picked out for Am I the A-hole?
I lied. Only 1 more.
Oh, so we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Am I... all right.
Fine. All right. You got our pick. It's about the husband who agrees with his mother that his wife should cook.
That's right. I'm
married to Harrison Butker of the San Francisco from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Am I the a-hole for agreeing with my mom that it's kind of pathetic my wife can't cook? I, a 28-year-old male, have been married to my wife, who's 31, for about a year. Overall, things are great. But one thing that's been bugging me is that my wife does not know how to cook, like, at all. I've been the one to handle meals, which I was fine with in the beginning because I enjoy cooking. But over time, it started to wear on me, especially when I come home after a long day at work and still have to cook dinner while she relaxes.
Well, but what does she do all day while he's at work?
Well, he says, well, she relaxes. So I don't know.
But it could be after she had a long day at work. And if you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to cook.
She refuses to cook and claims there is nothing wrong with not being able to cook. It's been an ongoing issue between us. I've been trying to teach her, but she is really bad at it.
Well, she told you she couldn't cook. I imagine
you still married
you
her.
knew this before.
Yeah,
You
it's
got
not
married.
a skill that you just kind of like just do. You have to you have to practice all the time.
You know that I cook, but my definition of cook is like start an open flame and hold meat over it.
Yes.
That's cooking.
Yes. Like, I'm not
or chicken nuggets in the
right.
oven.
Like, you can definitely do frozen stuff.
Ravioli, I make a great ravioli. It's Chef Boyardee's own recipe.
Like, you get those frozen, you get the frozen salmon and stuff, and like you throw it in the oven.
Yeah, throw it in the oven. So would you consider that cooking?
You couldn't make rice, for example.
I would have the first idea.
Right.
Do you put it in water? I honestly don't know.
It's not a bad thing. Well, anyways, the other...
Yeah, I mean, some people, it's just not everybody can do it, you know? Not everybody can play a musical instrument.
Yeah, and he's making it sound like, well, she just hasn't done it.
Right, she's just not trying hard enough. No, dude, clearly she doesn't want to do it.
Right.
She doesn't want to do it. And tell your mom to mind her own business.
Well, we're not even there yet.
We haven't even
Come on,
gotten to that
dude.
yet.
Buzz.
All right.
The other night, my mom, who's 56, came over for dinner. As usual, I was in the kitchen preparing everything, and my wife was sitting with my mother. At one point, my mom offered to help, and I asked if she could make the gravy or cut some fruit. My wife was standing around in the kitchen when my mom handed her a knife and asked her to cut some fruit while she handled the gravy.
Dude, anybody can. Come on. Cutting fruit isn't cooking.
My wife couldn't figure out how to hold the knife properly and ended up making a mess of the fruit.
Oh my God, what is she, Kendall Jenner?
My mom watched her fail and then blurted out, "It's honestly kind of pathetic that you don't even know how to cut a piece of fruit at your age."
Well, what kind of fruit are we talking about? Because if somebody handed me a kumquat, I wouldn't have the first idea.
I have difficulty with a cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe are tough.
Don't you just cut those down the middle and then cut them into like slices?
Yeah, but I can never cut them right. It's weird. I can't explain it.
That's why I get them already cut up into little chunks.
Right. I was going to say,
fancy.
When you go, who doesn't know how to cut? I'm thinking, there's some, like, could you cut a pineapple or a...
Pineapple is hard.
Yeah, Yeah, with my sword in the backyard.
Yeah, that's when you play Fruit Ninja, and that's about it.
When we play real life Fruit Ninja.
Anyways, after my mom said this, well, the thing where she calls her pathetic for not knowing how to cut a piece of fruit at her age, she then went behind my wife and started to guide her on how to cut things like you do with a kid.
Take your right hand and you make a cutting motion. Who needs this kind of grief?
My wife kind of shrugged and finished cutting her fruit with my mom guiding her. Dinner happens, and I noticed my wife was not happy the rest of the night. My mom left.
Oh, you're an empath.
And my... right. Genius over here. My mom left, and my wife was pissed that I didn't defend her.
She was infantilizing her.
Yikes.
The woman of the house.
That I embarrassed her by letting it happen. Mm-hmm. When we got into bed, the argument continued, and I told her it is pathetic that she can't cut a fruit. She is literally older than me and can't hold a knife properly. She told me that's not the point, and I needed to defend her, and it's not her fault she's bad at cooking. I pointed out that she's embarrassed because not being able to hold a knife is embarrassing for any adult.
Okay.
My wife thinks I'm a huge jerk. Am I the a-hole?
Yeah.
You think he's the a-hole?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
clearly she doesn't want to learn how to cook. I mean, you just need to grasp that. The reason she's doing it poorly is so you'll leave her alone. I've done this many times with tasks that I don't want to do.
You've done this yourself?
Yeah,
he has. Yes, I've been witness to it.
What am I supposed to do? Let me do it for you.
My mom was going to show me how to iron shirts.
This past time she came, right?
No. When I was in high school but about to go to college, and I hated doing it so much that I pretended and actually burned and ruined a shirt just to make my point so that they would. So what I'm saying is the wife is sending the message, I don't want to do this. Stop. I don't enjoy this. And he's just oblivious to that. So yeah, he's the a-hole.
And to this day, at 60 years old, Buzz does not know how to iron a shirt.
Wait,
dude, who does?
Wait, so what would you do with your ironing? Would you just send it back to your mom?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I come home from college.
That's kind of a douche move.
Guess what? I did it for 4 years. And my brother after me did it for 4 years as well.
Joanna is...
Also, you better be careful going with that. You're older than I am. She's 31. He's 28. That's a big fight brewing there.
That's another fight that's going to...
another one.
Everybody sucks here.
No.
Oh, right.
Come on.
Take a stance, woman.
Okay.
Fine. Yes, he's the a-hole.
Is the a-hole. All right, that's 2 for yes.
Okay.
Nika to play devil.
Look, if she's standing around in the kitchen, not doing anything, there's a difference between not knowing how to cook and just willful.
You ever had to sit and devein shrimp for like an hour? God.
Yes.
I can't think of anything more monotonous. It makes me hate shrimp. The food tastes worst if I have to be a part of fixing it. Like it's just like
it's better when someone else does it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It really is.
I don't enjoy eating food that I made for myself unless it's a steak.
And that seems to be all you eat.
That's about it.
I'm not. I think she could learn to do a little bit, probably more. Maybe take a cooking class.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. It sounds like she has no inclination toward doing that.
It's kind of like he already signed up for this deal. He knew that she didn't cook.
Yeah, but think of him. Like, he's the one that does all the cooking. Should he be forced to do that?
No, I told you. I had an aunt and uncle, my dad's brother Herschel, my uncle Butch, and his wife. They didn't cook. Uh-huh. In fact, they didn't even have food in the refrigerator.
Not even snacks?
Hey, maybe. They might have, an apple or something, but as far as like food, it was pretty bare. And they just ate out all the time. And that was because neither one of them knew how to cook well and also didn't want to do it. So they just got their food and took it home,
Well, but see,
that's my uncle.
They're both sharing in that, at least. Like, in this instance, one person's cooking and one person's not cooking.
He needs to chill out and get off this cooking kit.
I'll tell you, Joanna, when I lived with Buzz, I cooked all the time, and it was kind of infuriating that he wouldn't cook anymore.
Especially because he was older than you.
Yeah, he was older than me. And I was like,
cut a
come
pineapple.
on, don't you know how to hold a knife by now?
Nico's relating too much.
You mean the place where you had free room and board the entire time you lived
And
there?
you had delicious meals.
Not really. You didn't cook all that much.
I cooked all the time. I have pictures of me bringing chicken because I was going.
Yeah.
Remember, I brought you and Lisa like a bunch of chicken one time because I was like going through a chicken phase.
You did. It was good chicken.
It was really good chicken.
Right. So we got two. Yeah, he's the a-hole, so that means he is.
And what did Nico say?
Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole.
All right, let's take
If
a break.
anything, do we all agree that mother was the a-hole, though?
Yeah, she was kind of the a-hole.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Definitely an a-hole, that mother.
It's kind of pathetic you don't know how to cook.
Not your house, not
son
your
is
wife.
whining.
Right. But it's interesting.
He's not your little boy anymore.
Two words I'm hearing: weaponized incompetence.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Buzz definitely does that.
So
Do it so badly that people are like, never ask Buzz to do anything. I mean, never ask a person to do anything ever again. I don't know why I inserted my name in there. All right, let's take a break. We're going to find out all about the air show, which returns this weekend. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show for your Mondays headed your way right after this.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job.
Free to try Zip.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, so the air show's back. It's been a dozen years since the Amigo Air Show. If you're going to look for it online, don't forget it's Air Show with no W.
Core memory unlocked.
Mm-hmm. Did your dad take you to the air show when you were a kid?
All right. So my dad wanted to take me to the Amigo Air Show.
Sure.
But my friend and his dad were going. And I told my dad, no, I'm going with my friend.
Probably broke your father's heart.
I was like 8 or 9. And to this day, biggest regret. Yeah. I've always wanted to take him back there.
Oh, well, you could take him back there this weekend. It amazes me the way listeners hear stories that I haven't told in like 20 years about the thing with the air show, and I didn't. I puked as soon as I got home, though, man. They gave me a rough ride. Well, so we learned a lot about the air show. It's Saturday and Sunday, AmigoAirShow.com, but no W in the end of show, and you'll find all the details and information there. This is the cash code, the first one of Monday. We're going to have one per hour through 5 o'clock. So every time it's a cash code, it's another chance for you to enter that cash code, get your name in there yet again for big money. You could be a daily $100 winner, or you might even be the $30,000 winner. We got one more week with the fall cash code. So here we go. Let's get Monday underway with the cash code for our 8 o'clock hour. Joanna.
Your cash code for this hour is 625.
625. Yes. Now, how long is that cash code good for? What's the
midnight, baby.
Midnight. Any of them you hear during the day, they expire at midnight. So if you can't get it in right away, write it down. Try to remember them. We're going to give it one more time in case you missed it. All right. Just giving people long enough to get something to write with.
Oh, good.
All right, Joanna, what's cash code?
Cash code for this hour is 625.
625. All right. Fantastic.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. And the weather's good.
Good morning. It's nice to see you all again.
Oh, my. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the attack Hamas perpetrated on Israel. Remember, you always hear people talk about October 7th. It's October 7th again. Good morning, Nico.
Oh, yeah. Man, totally lost the significance of that until you just brought it up. Yeah. 1 year.
1 year since
it started.
Went over there. A lot of people were just at a music festival, not armed, just enjoying the music festival.
Oh, I'm you know what? Hamas and Hezbollah are going to regret ever doing that because they just unleashed Israel on the Middle East.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our top stories of the day.
All right. Former New York Governor David Paterson and his 20-year-old stepson were attacked last week on Manhattan's Upper East Side, and now the two alleged assaulters have been arrested after turning themselves in. The names of the two children arrested were 12 and 13, but their names have not been released.
Wait, 12 and 13-year-old David Patterson, I believe, was the one who was blind.
Yeah.
But he had his 20-year-old son with him.
Well,
no one 20-year-old ought to be able to take on a 12 and a 13.
Well, when you got one blind person, it's easy to sneak up on them.
They were blindsided.
No, I looked at Joanna. You do not get one from her.
No.
Awfully stingy today.
A third child also turned himself in, but was not charged after police determined he wasn't involved in the attack. The 12-year-old was arrested on a charge of second-degree gang assault, and the 13-year-old was charged with third-degree gang assault. The attack took place near Patterson's home, and police said more arrests are possible in the incident.
Do you know, on Saturday Night Live, they had one actor from back in the day who would play David Patterson when he was the governor of New York.
Michael Keegan.
There's no. Are you trying to say Kenan Thompson?
No, I was trying to say Keegan Michael Key.
He was not on Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Get this. Fred Armisen.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about right.
Fred Armisen did a bunch of blackface back in the day because he was also the first Obama.
Yeah, he's got a nice tan. He's pretty tan.
I think it's still considered blackface, though, right?
Is it? When a person of color does it?
He might be a person of color, but he's not African American. Fred Armisen.
Yeah.
Fred Armisen.
Yeah. I think he's like Latino. Well, air travel.
Well, I'm not saying that I love Fred Armisen. I'm not saying it as any kind of negative. It's just that, as recently as, I don't know, the 2000s, it was totally in bounds to have a non-black actor play a black
maybe that
character.
wouldn't fly today.
Probably not.
Well, air travel problems continue around the country. A Frontier flight appeared to catch fire as the plane was landing in Las Vegas on Saturday, with flames and smoke visible on the plane's undercarriage as it touched down. A spokesperson for Harry Reid International Airport told CBS News that Frontier Flight 1326 experienced a hard landing. No injuries were reported among the passengers and crew. But what are the chances? It was a Boeing.
Well, they make a lot of them, so I guess the chances are pretty good. Did they change the name of the airport from McCarran to Harry Reid?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A man canyoneering in Utah's Zion National Park fell to his death on Saturday.
Oh, no.
The man fell 200 feet, which, according to the National Park Service, also said that the man and 3 people in his party were following an approved itinerary through the area. 2 of the other people were taken from the site by a helicopter, while the third rappelled down the canyon and reached the ground safely. It's not the first death in Heaps Canyon, which the Park Service says is a strenuous, challenging, technical canyon with an approximate 3,000-foot descent that takes about 12 to 20 hours.
Yeah, hopefully this wasn't the first time this guy had ever tried it. You're kind of starting on the Black Diamond slope.
Yeah,
if you're doing
right.
That, right?
Although canyoneering sounds fun.
I think we used to have a hatchback that was a canyoneer.
And the U.S. Supreme Court returns for a new session today with another loaded agenda with slightly fewer politically controversial appeals on the docket. Carter Phillips, a veteran Supreme Court litigator, told CNN last week, as matters stand now, this feels like the court is keeping its powder dry in case the election explodes. That doesn't mean the session is without high-profile cases, though. Justices will hear arguments tomorrow in a case focused on the Biden administration's regulation on ghost guns. And with the cleanup underway in the wake of...
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Are there pro-ghost gun people? I mean, are there people who are like come out and say, I'm in favor of being able to design a gun and have it fabricated for me?
Or fabricate it yourself. See, from that point of view, you have a lot of hobbyists, creators, independent designers, and technicians who do it, their spare time. I think they even have like a... They don't call them ghost guns. They don't call them ghost guns, but
we call them ghost guns because they don't have serial numbers.
The police do stuff.
They call it ghost guns,
right? But they might call them 3D printed guns or something like that. They have competitions to see who's like does the best or what has the best design, and So there is a community, of course, of people that are into it. Yeah.
You'll get my ghost gun when you pry it from my cold dead ghost fingers.
With the cleanup underway in the wake of Hurricane Helene and now Hurricane Milton headed toward Florida, potential funding shortfalls in federal disaster recovery are in the spotlight. On Friday, President Joe Biden sent a letter to congressional leaders requesting more money above what was put into place with the short-term funding bill passed last month. The problem is that Congress is recessed until after the election, so no funding legislation can be passed unless Congress is called back to Washington before then. While visiting Georgia last week, here is President Joe Biden telling the press that any delay by Congress, well, that's not acceptable.
Can't wait.
We got to go to the press.
Can't wait. People need help now.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, the person who could call Congress people back for an emergency session to approve additional funding, said during an interview yesterday, we'll be back in session immediately after the election. That's 30 days from now. Johnson went on to say that it takes a while to calculate the actual damages from disasters like hurricanes. Congress recessed the day before Helene made landfall and appropriated an additional $20 billion to FEMA for immediate needs before leaving. And in more hurricane news, like several other states, Florida is recovering from Hurricane Helene, but they have to get ready for now Hurricane Milton.
Hey, when you hear the name Milton, does an image come to mind?
Like an old man that's kind of bald and like has a scrunchy face.
Not Milton from Office Space with the red swing line stapler?
Milton, yeah. Well, stapler. I want my stapler. Hurricane Milton strengthened from a tropical storm to a Category 1 yesterday, and the current forecast path for the storm takes it to a landfall near Tampa Bay on Wednesday as a major hurricane. Milton is expected by the National Hurricane Center to strengthen rapidly as it moves eastward across the Gulf of Mexico and most likely reach the status of a major hurricane, which is Category 3 or above. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency on Saturday, but increased the amount of the state covered by the declaration to 51 counties last night. Here is Ron DeSantis speaking about the preparations for Milton.
There's actually a lot of range of possibilities when it comes to this storm. So just be mindful of that and let that uncertainty influence your preparations to know that you're not going to be able to be told with 100-degree certainty where this storm is going to go this far out in advance.
Kevin Guthrie with the Florida Department of Emergency Management said yesterday that his department is expecting the largest evacuation.
I urge Floridians to finalize your storm preparations now, enact your plan. I highly encourage you to evacuate. We are preparing, and I have the State Emergency Response Team preparing for the largest evacuation that we have seen, most likely since 2017 Hurricane Irma.
Would you say we're lucky we don't have to deal with hurricanes? We're very lucky, probably.
I mean, we don't really have to deal with tornadoes for them, I can never remember a tornado actually setting down in El Paso.
I can't. Yeah, no.
Earthquakes have only started recently, and
dust
that's
storms.
Still like 100 miles away. Yeah, dust storm. Sure. But all things considered, wildfires, we don't really get raging 100-acre or more wildfires. So I would say we have a very, very lucky in El Paso. The only natural disaster is New Mexico drivers.
Well, I was a little asleep for that one. Well, let's finish off with some good news. How's that sound?
Yeah. Go for some good news.
Lucas Taylor, a student at Mojave Middle School in Scottsdale, Arizona, recently made history by being elected as the school's first autistic student class president.
Okay. I bet that's not even true, but, because it's a spectrum.
Okay.
All right.
His election marks a significant milestone in the district as he successfully transitioned from special needs classes to full-time general education. His achievement reflects the support and encouragement he gets from his peers who've embraced him and his journey. Taylor's determination and his community's acceptance have helped him become a confident leader and now student class president.
I don't think, I wasn't familiar with the concept of autism when I was in high school. And certainly not, anything else like ADHD or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back, I think of my classmates and I go, yeah, he's probably autistic. and they're all like, the best student, like the 4.0 students, some of them, like very high functioning.
Oh.
And it's like, we just thought he was a really awkward nerd who didn't look at you when he talked. It's like, it had to have been autistic, right?
I don't know if it had to be.
All right.
Gap Fillers Flathead, a Columbia Falls, Montana nonprofit organization, has successfully cleared over $9,000 of student lunch debt for families in the Columbia Falls district.
That's a lot of pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, a lot of pizza. Founded in 2019, the organization focuses on supporting underserved children. In addition to eliminating school lunch debt, they provide essential medical supplies and hygiene kits to students across the county. Their efforts are funded entirely by community donations. And a 23-year-old man named Chris McCoy has been giving free haircuts in Grand Rapids for nearly 3 months. His initiative, called The Rebirth, focuses on serving those in need, especially individuals experiencing homelessness. Along the way, other volunteers, McCoy provides this service as a way to get back to his community and create a positive change. You could use his services.
Got a haircut a couple of days ago.
No, I meant for the goatee.
Okay. Well, you don't need his services.
I do not need his services at all. That is correct. And finally, in Washington State, a 13-year-old dog named Geeta saved her 84-year-old owner's life after he fell and injured his leg at his rural cabin. The pup walked to a nearby road and sat in the middle of the road until she caught the attention of a passing Stevens County Sheriff's deputy. When Geeta wouldn't get into his patrol car, the deputy became concerned.
What is it? What is it, girl?
After searching homes in the area and finding nothing, he returned to the pup, and she led him down a nearby path to her injured owner. Geeta led the deputy straight to a small summer cabin where he heard the elderly man calling for help. In addition to his leg injury, the man had been unable to take his essential medication for several hours and was in urgent need of care.
Does it say what breed of dog Geeta was?
I believe she was a Lassie.
Like a border collie?
A border collie, right. According to the Sheriff's County Office, the timely discovery of the injured man likely prevented a tragic outcome.
That is like a Lassie save.
That is absolutely a Lassie save.
Like Lassie couldn't lower a rope herself, but she could go get humans
to lower the rope. Yeah.
Right. This wasn't a well, though.
The sheriff's office praised Geeta, calling her a good girl and a true hero for helping to save her owner that day. They say that the pup's actions were crucial in getting her owner the critical help he needed and are crediting her with saving his life. And with your news, I'm Nico.
All right. Thank you, Nico.
The
Daily Calendar. Hey guys, it's October 7th. Today is consignment day, so instead of trashing hardly used stuff you don't need anymore, maybe bring it to a consignment store and resell it. It's LED light day, replace some bulbs, save some money. It's You Matter to Me Day. Tell the people you care about that you love them while you still can. It's also National Frap Day, Frappe Day. Frap Day. Get a cold blended coffee drink and come fight me. And that's your Daily Calendar.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
tweb.edu. When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
800-533-2519. The future is in your hands at CET.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
I know this isn't 420 or anything, but I was just reading online and found an article. It's about ways to tell if a person is secretly a consumer of marijuana. They say stoner in this article, but someone said, I had a boss ask to see my lighter once. I handed it to him. He turned it upside down. You see? Expand it. And observed the bottom's edge smudge of black tar where I smashed the bowl down after I light it. He handed the lighter back and said, I thought so. Turns out my boss smoked weed too. Is that, do you understand that?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
How many? That's what we. How many of these things? So there's a burn. You use the lighter as a tamp.
As a tamp, yeah. That's funny that you use the technical term.
Wow, Buzz, look
Well,
at you.
It's for pipes and
It's for
stuff.
pipes.
Yeah.
If they call it marijuana, they don't smoke. If they call it weed, they do. I don't know about that. I want to bring back grass.
Would you like to? Iggy says it all the time.
Iggy says grass?
Yeah.
See, he's a throwback.
I say reefer.
Reefer, that's pretty
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You say reefer?
The reefer.
If they're okay, here's another way you tell someone's secretly a marijuana smoker. If they're American and they know offhand how many grams are in 1 ounce.
It's not 14. No, is it? No, it's not. 28 is.
Well, I honestly, I don't have the first idea how many grams are in an ounce. This one, stoners tend to gravitate to each other where it's at work or elsewhere.
28.
Well, wait a second. Listen to that. That's a very broad statement. Stoners tend to gravitate to each other whether it's at work or elsewhere.
Agreed.
Okay.
It's actually one of the only ways I would meet.
You would become friends with someone?
Yeah. It was the easiest way back in the day to meet the comics. Even if I was just going to watch a show, I wasn't even performing.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, do you smoke?
You got some of that reefer?
And they'd go,
oh, you just said, do you smoke? Listen to this next one. Ask a person, hey, do you smoke? If they reply, smoke what? The answer is yes. They're a smoker of weed.
That's funny.
This is kind of, I don't know how to take this. At family gatherings, they are usually the one playing with the kids. Wait a second. What do you mean? I can remember. All right, so tell me.
Joanna.
Oh my God.
So is that you?
How does that make you a stoner?
So in 1975, 76, I was like 8 or 9 years old, right? And I can remember at family gatherings, some of the some of my cousins who were still teenagers, but also some of them who were maybe 20, early 20s, after Thanksgiving dinner, they would go out for a big walk.
Oh, yeah, they would.
And they said I couldn't come. And now I think it all makes sense.
They didn't let you go with them on their walk.
Your cousins?
Do you think they all went out to walk around the block and smoke some Arifa?
Yeah, that's definitely the walk.
No, because you have a bunch of Baptist cousins.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Hey, listen, even in a group of Baptists, not everyone of them's a saint, okay? It was that time period. It was like the 70s.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You really hadn't gotten into the war on drugs of the 80s. Nancy Reagan wasn't the first lady yet.
Right.
They have... Some of these are just stereotypes. They have an unusual affinity for band T-shirts.
Oh, yeah, that's a stereotype. I know people in town that love bands and don't.
Yeah, I've never seen Nico wear a band shirt. Except that Depeche Mode
except
one.
the Depeche Mode one that you want so badly.
It makes me so upset.
You know my rule on wearing a band shirt.
You have to know the band.
You have to know one song.
Yeah.
Nico doesn't
If you don't even know
how
one
he
song.
got that shirt.
I don't even know what the difference between Depeche Mode and The Cure is.
Oh, get out. Stop it.
They always go out on their lunch break, but you have no idea where they go.
Yep.
I mean, I have some idea where you go.
Your car.
At another, they say this is a way to tell if somebody is a secret pot smoker. They are the most relaxed, reasonable person in the group who laughs at your jokes and doesn't give a crap. What?
I know people that aren't relaxed.
People who are not relaxed.
Yeah, I know people who do it and are not
Right.
relaxed at all.
Sometimes people get really paranoid, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Johanna telling her cat, "You're gonna die."
Wait, what now?
Nico, I told you that in confidence.
Genie's out of the bottle. What happened?
One time in a state where it's definitely legal,
Definitely.
I had a little too much, and then I looked at my cat and I started crying because I was like, "You're gonna die one day."
She just realized his mortality.
I don't know what I'm gonna do when you die, Junior. And Junior's just looking at me like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
I'm sorry. It's too funny.
Stupid Nico.
It's too funny.
Don't
Do
forget
you ever do that? You just look at your pet like, "Oh my God, when are they gonna die?"
You're gonna die before me.
Anytime anybody brings up anything about dying, I like to remind everybody we're all gonna die.
Yeah, but
Right.
Junior's gonna die before me.
You don't know that.
That's a good point.
I'd be a bus, right?
Hi, Joanna, that sometimes.
I was just looking at my dog, and he's like grown up so much. He doesn't look like a
He
little
doesn't look
puppy
like
anymore.
a puppy no more. That's how my dog is. She
And
don't look like a puppy
My
no
dog's
more.
starting to get all like wobbly, janky legs and stuff. And his brother just passed away a couple of months ago.
Aw.
Sparky has already got like gray hair and everything.
He does.
Yeah.
Got a few phone calls.
Here's your Dallas guy phone call today. Dallas sucks.
Oh, nice. All right.
You know,
Oh, where is our Dallas friend?
I can't believe he didn't call in.
I miss him.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Cowboys
I hope he's
game-winning touchdown on Sunday Night Football. Dak Prescott.
Prescott throws, crossing, it's caught for the touchdown! It's Tolbert! Stays in the game and grabs it for the score!
Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da.
Come on, Buzz. Woo!
Woo! Come on, Joanna. Give me a woo for the Cowboys. Nico.
No.
Nico. Give me a woo. Woo!
Hey, were you going to play Wrestler Guy's phone call? Oh, I got it then.
Okay, go ahead.
What is up, Mo Show? It's Wrestler Guy. Hope you guys, hope y'all speaking was great. Steelers, man, what happened? We had that game. Well, they had that game won. It was in the bag, in the books. All they had to do was just stop the Cowboys from making that last field goal. But hey, you know what? It isn't that big of a loss. We only lost by 3, so it's really no big deal, honestly.
To the Cowboys.
However, I am looking forward to the Foreigner and Loverboy concert Wednesday here in Las Cruces. That's going to be a lot of fun, man. Can't really wait for that, man. Hopefully see you guys there, too, if you guys are going. It's going to be a lot of fun, dude. So, looking forward to plenty of songs I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing live and everything. But, getting ready for the Cowboy fans to start glow.
Here's another call that just came in a few minutes ago.
Good morning, guys. It's Steven. So, I went to go see Joker, Folly of Do, Joker 2 for short, over the weekend. And I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry. I'm not going to do any spoilers. But I will tell you, I have never seen a more deliberate self-sabotage by a director. Like, I'm serious. There might even be, legal ramifications. But, it's basically a turn around and burn the bridge behind you scenario. So, yeah. And you can't even blame the musical aspects of this movie, because without it, this movie has nothing else going for it.
Okay, so the caller is Steven, and he's saying that it was so bad that it seems to him like the director, Todd Phillips, was intentionally trying to ruin the first movie. That's interesting that you would come, hey, it's the only explanation. He had to have been trying to make it bad. And he brought up, there could be legal ramifications from this.
So I'm going to do something that I never do. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to worry. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell people, go ahead and look up the ending. I'm saving you 2 hours. Trust me. It's a disaster. I can't, there's nothing else to say.
Oh, man.
What a disaster of a movie. Avoid it at all costs. Have a good one, guys.
Well, it made $40 million at the box office, which is way under what they would have won. Is there any? What would be the reason that Todd Phillips would make a movie that so completely falls short of the original movie?
I don't know why he chose to make
a movie,
a musical.
Oh yeah, hey you guys! Last night I watched the Casa Bonita documentary with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, right? Yeah, the creators of South Park. They bought the Casa Bonita, the original one that they featured in the season 7 South Park episode where Cartman goes to Casa Bonita, and it ends up at first I think they're quoted like maybe $6 million for the renovation, and then they start tearing down the ceilings, the wall, they get into the plumbing, and all of a sudden it starts to pile up. I think they're almost $40 million deep into the whole Casa Bonita project. I didn't finish the documentary. I fell asleep kind of early last night, but I got about maybe 2/4 of the way through it, and it's really good. I think it has like a 99 or 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, actually. But yeah, check it out. The Casa Bonita documentary. It came out like about 3 weeks ago on Paramount Plus.
Ooh. I was about to ask where.
Okay, my friend Jeff back home reminded me that we had a Casa Bonita in Dallas, and I said, well, it must have just been the same name. And he's like, no, it was pink, and it had mariachis, and this was back in Oklahoma in a time where you didn't know what mariachis were.
Did it have cliff divers?
I don't, I asked him, he didn't remember the cliff divers, but the one on South Park. Does the real one in Denver have cliff divers?
It does.
Have you ever been?
No.
I thought
I've
maybe
just
that
seen
was
South
just
Park.
an embellishment that they did.
No. Apparently the cliff divers were part of
That's a real thing.
Its original
Oh.
thing when, I guess, Matt Stone and Trey Parker went there as kids. And then when they brought it back, they brought the cliff divers back.
I don't remember. Actually, I don't really remember going to Casa Bonita.
Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita.
Good morning, guys. I love the show. I was just calling. I heard Nico saying one of the chief's wives made jackets. That's actually Kristen Ustek, which is Kyle Ustek's wife, and he's a 49er. I guess the confusion was because she made a jacket for Taylor Swift.
Thank you.
Anyway, have a great day. Bye-bye.
God, you know what? I'm so glad you corrected me on that, because I was convinced there was a chief's wife who did that. but it was a 49ers.
Is there any chance you might be confused because they both kind of have red jerseys?
No, it's because she made a Kansas City Chiefs jacket for Brittany Mahomes.
We got a break coming up here, Joanna.
Oh, yeah, we should do that.
We got a lot of neckline calls about our Am I the A-hole?
Yeah, I know, but we'd have to go
I
back
forgot
and
about that.
we'd have to reboot the whole thing, and I've got a
got a
true
whole
crime
thing.
report coming up in just a few minutes.
I've got a thing.
So
Got something.
I got to play this for you a little bit. You remember the Jane's Addiction show? That's probably the last one at least with Perry Farrell.
Oof, yeah.
So Perry Farrell was mad and he punched Dave Navarro. And Dave Navarro, say what you will about Dave Navarro, but he didn't respond. It's not like he started throwing hands. So Dan Cleary, who was the guitar and bass tech on the tour, has posted Perry Farrell's isolated vocals and what he was doing right before before he threw punches. The vocals are atrocious. So we're going to hear the guitar tech, Dan Cleary, and his comments. Perry Farrell's wife said that he was upset because his vocals were drowned out by the music in the mix. But when you hear the isolated vocals, you don't think they would have been doing him any kindness to allow him to be heard. So here's a little bit of the isolated vocals from right before the fist started flying at that last Jane's Addiction show.
You can hear the band a bit in the background. Yeah. He's in the wrong spot.
Wanna be more like the ocean. I'm not talking baby on action.
So you're going to hear him say he's doing the words from a different song. He's starting either ahead or behind the music. He's not performing his job very well, and he got mad at the band because of that.
I'm not talking baby on action. No, I'm talking
Oh my
on
God.
action.
Oh my God.
Still better than Bob Dylan. So I cut out the section where Perry Farrell was pointing and gesturing to his bandmates and screaming, "F these mother effers." Perry Farrell wishes they'd been drowning out his vocals, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. Maybe it's time for Jane's Addiction to go to Jane's Rehab. All right, let's take a break. We've got a true crime report on the way for you here in just a few moments. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show's coming up right after this.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from GNR to STP to
Hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. The KLAQ Morning Show with Buzz Adams is back.
Yeah!
Only on 95.5 KLAQ El Paso.
We still have a true crime report on the way this morning, so we'll be getting to that very shortly. Back to sports.
Before you get into baseball, I wanted to ask Cappy about two things. One was on Friday, the NFL Players Association issued a statement stressing the importance of booting the media out of the locker room for interviews.
Well, how can they do the interview if they've been booted out of the locker room?
They sometimes have designated interview areas.
In the statement, it points out that this is an issue that they've tried to resolve with the NFL for 3 years, but there's been little willingness to collaborate on a new solution. There's an issue for the players with their privacy is being invaded, and it's uncomfortable. That's what they say. What do you think about that?
Listen, I'll say this. I've gone to locker rooms
I've been in
all
locker
the way.
rooms and nobody pays. If you're in the locker room and those guys are done, even if it's a practice, they're not paying any attention to you.
And some of the guys that are there just don't care what.
They don't care.
They don't care anything about it. I've told that story about Robert Parrish. from a jar of Vaseline.
Oh, was he just hanging brain or what?
That, and he was just maintaining himself in the middle of his interview while people were talking to him and sticking a microphone there, and he was doing things that quite frankly, if you were not paying attention to Paris and you were paying attention to what he was doing, it would be a little disturbing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
he had to take care of certain things. Okay.
Let's talk baseball.
So I just thought it was interesting because you, like you said, you've been a reporter in locker rooms before, and I just wondered if that was a big deal or not.
Most of the time, I will say this: in the early '90s.
Remember, there was a deal when female reporters started getting locker room.
Yeah, early '90s.
Yeah, and that was big controversy.
Yes, I would go to a lot of Spurs games in the early '90s because I went to school in Texas at UT, and I would cover the Spurs. And this was back when Dennis Rodman first arrived.
Oh,
and
wow.
He was dating Madonna, and he just started with his tattoos and his piercings. Like nobody in sports had it in those days. It was taboo to be all tatted up. And Rodman was like the first, and everybody wanted to talk to Dennis. So he would sometimes come like an hour after a game was over, and there'd be a lot of females there, and he'd just be in a towel. But that was it. That was like the norm, People they protected and covered up, and nobody ever complained about the females in the locker room. Even though, as Buzz said, it was a big deal because they hadn't been there earlier. So yeah, that's right.
Here's the final call as the Yankees defeat Kansas City 6-5 to take Game 1.
Rolled down to first. Cabrera has it. He'll take it himself, and Game 1 goes to the Yankees.
A lot of people criticizing Bob Costas and saying he just does not call a game like he used to, that he's kind of losing it. So that's been going around.
Was that a good example?
No, other things that Costas is doing right now, and I don't know, people are getting annoyed by him and stuff like that. He's been getting hammered on social media pretty good.
All right, final call. Phillies walk-off hit from Castellanos to win Game 2 and tie that series after the 7-6 win. Here, let's hear it.
So back-to-back walks will move the winning run into scoring position. And during the regular season this year, enjoyed 10 walk-off wins. And Nick Castellanos delivered the winning hit in 4 of them.
Into left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series. Back to Queens, one apiece.
This was a great game. I mean, this game was fantastic. Mets led 3-0. Then the Phillies came back and tied it at 3. Then they took the lead. The Mets tied it. They took the lead. The Mets tied it. Back and forth. And then just like that, 7-6, Buzz, was the final score. Mets were down 6-4 in the 9th with 1 out and a runner on, and they tied it with a home run, and then they came back and gave it right back up in the bottom of the 9th. So good series so far with these two.
Why don't you talk about Monday Night Football again? I know we did earlier. You talked about that.
I need to talk about the Dodgers series real quick with the Padres. This is big because last night the Padres crushed the Dodgers 10-2. But the story in this game, Buzz, was that the fans started throwing baseballs at members of the Padres, and the game was actually delayed.
Where'd they get baseballs?
They sell them at the stadium. You can buy a baseball. I mean, you can
throw a cup or something. A baseball at a pro stadium is going to be something like $40.
And not only that, they were aiming at Padre players. So there's a video of like the dugout of like the bullpen having like things thrown at them, and then they started pointing and yelling at the fans. Like this got ugly yesterday. It really did, and the game had to be delayed for a little while. You know what's weird? LA is not the kind of place where I would expect fans to throw things at ball players. Like, Philadelphia,
yeah,
it happens.
Philly.
Yeah, even New York. Fans know they used to throw batteries at Yankee games, and that was the story. They would try to hit players with batteries during games. But this is different. I mean, LA. So a lot of bad blood right now between the Dodgers and Padres. The series is tied at 1 game apiece, but things got pretty testy yesterday involving fans and players. Oh, and it all started because in the first inning, Mookie Betts hit what looked to be a home run, but Jurickson Profar robbed him, and the fans thought it was a home run. But Profar did like a little dance where he like started hopping backwards.
Did he go up over the wall?
He did, but he started like hopping and like at the fans, and then he showed them the ball, and that's when they realized that they had just been duped. So after that, the fans were so upset with Profar, they started throwing things at him later in the game, and that's when it got ugly. And and baseball's umpires had to come. They had to essentially like on the PA system, warn fans not to throw anything on the field.
This was a bad night to have hard alcohol and free D-cell battery night.
So it's a good series. Now, you were talking about Monday Night Football.
Wait.
Yes.
Were you mentioning the Ghetto Cholo?
The Ghetto Cholo.
Yeah, so Mike in our app chat says, ask Cappy to mention the Ghetto Cholo Dodger fans throwing stuff at the post.
Well, that's not just what they're called.
He's
Ghetto,
just calling them Ghetto
He was calling them
Okay,
Ghetto
okay,
Cholos.
okay.
Yes. So yes, that was what happened yesterday. I mean, the fans were doing it. I never thought of calling them Ghetto Cholos, but
I'm
yes,
sure that you've got the wrong element in any crowd.
In any crowd, right?
Have you ever been to a Dodgers game in LA? I was there last year. It's a fun time.
I went to the stadium when I was there a couple months ago.
Oh, but there was no game
No
there?
game.
You went to an empty stadium?
Yeah, it was Willie Barcena's idea.
Oh, really?
He's a Dodgers fan.
He's
Wait
a
a
big
minute.
Dodger.
Willie took you to Dodgers just to check it out, even though, could you get in?
No,
even though it was
wouldn't
empty?
They wouldn't let us in the parking lot. He's like,
So-
we want to go to the store. And he's like, the store's not open.
Oh, so you guys were on the outside perimeter
Yeah,
of
but I
Dodger
saw
Stadium.
it. I kind of got the feeling.
Okay, that's cool.
What's there?
Nice. Monday Night Football tonight. I'll be there. Border City Yale House, giving away a lot of great prizes for the Saints and the Chiefs. 1506 Lee Trevino. Come down, hang out, take advantage. They have an all-new menu. I'm looking forward to that. And you can watch some playoff baseball. You mentioned that Yankee Royals game. There'll be game 2 tonight for that. Tigers and the Guardians as well. National League has the night off, but the American League will be back at Border City Yale House.
All right. So just another thing about the Vandy, Alabama upset. Vanderbilt fans not only tore the goalpost down through it in the river, they carried it 3 miles to the streets.
Oh, I like that.
To the river. And after 3 miles, then they threw it into the river.
Like, how much of the goalpost did they carry? Did they take the whole thing?
They might have taken the whole thing. I mean, isn't that normally what you
Usually
do?
when you snap it off, you can snap off either part of the uprights or
when
the
that
whole
happens, does anybody even try and stop them, or is it just like, yeah, of course you're gonna throw the goalpost in the river?
Leave them be. It's their trophy. Let them carry their trophy over to over in. Let me see here. I'm looking at the video right now of the goalpost, and oh wow, they got the whole thing.
The whole.
I
thing.
mean, they took they took the uprights with them, and man, it is not easy to navigate around the street carrying an entire goalpost.
Yeah,
but,
it's very unwieldy.
They
I would
really
imagine.
had good teamwork on that.
Yeah, they did. There must have been at least, hundreds of fans. No, this is crazy, Buzz. Take a look at this real quick. You got to see. Let me show you the overhead view as they start taking this thing down. Yeah, that is impressive right there. Look at that. They took the whole goalpost and they were just right in the middle of the street holding that thing up like little ants. So that is a serious march.
And they're
downtown Nashville holding it.
Right out there in the street. That had to have impacted traffic.
Oh, there is no doubt about it. Like, we can't go anywhere. We've got goalposts right there.
Here's something I want to ask you, and it has to do with preseason basketball. LeBron James and his son Bronny played as Lakers teammates for the first time in a preseason game.
Crazy.
Right now, with people being down on nepotism as much as they are, isn't this a blatant example of nepotism? And I'll put it to you this way. If the Lakers hadn't drafted Bronny, would anybody have?
So the answer would be yes, because some teams might have felt, had they drafted Bronny,
they'd have a good chance to get LeBron to come over and play for them.
Exactly.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Okay.
On his own merits.
No.
Could he have been an NBA prospect? Then this is like the most blatant example of nepotism, and really, Bronny should be against it.
Well, Bronny's going to probably play in the G League. That's most likely what's going to happen because he has to develop. He's only played. Remember, last year was his freshman year. He only averaged like
had
4
a heart
points
attack,
a game. Almost died.
Yeah, almost died.
Yeah,
I got you. But I'm just saying,
he needs more development.
The only reason somebody would have drafted him is to get his dad to come over and play for them.
But that's nepotism. Yeah, but understand this, Buzz. There's a chance that if Bronny would have stayed in college this year at USC and had a really good year, then he is getting drafted. And his last name has a lot to do with it. But what I'm saying is that, just coming back and being able to play last year after that health scare, that was a big enough win for Bronny. But he has not had the ability to show what he is capable of doing, which is probably why he will need at least 1 or 2 years of development in the NBA G League before he really gets it.
Ifs and buts were Candy's nuts. You know,
That's true.
I mean, you don't know what his comeback year would have been like in college. I think, it signifies to me that LeBron Sr. wanted to play with his son.
Well,
and probably encouraged him to leave college when he did.
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem fair to Bronny.
Is this the first ever NBA father-son combination? Because Tim Hardaway Jr. did not play with Tim Hardaway Sr.
No.
Gary Payton did not play with his son. There have been a lot of siblings that have gone on to play, second-generation NBA players, but like Dolph Shays and Danny Shays, for those of you that remember the 80s. But it's been a lot. This could be the first modern father-son combination.
Hey, you got a interesting... did you see who's on the line?
Okay, it's Wrestler Guy.
Oh, no. There was Jim Paul.
Really?
Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hey,
how you guys doing?
Here's Jim Paul, everybody. Everybody knows who Jim Paul is, a man who needs no introduction in El Paso. Hello, Jim.
Oh, that helps my ego. That just helps my ego.
I'm glad to do that.
The goalpost that is something is interesting, and we dealt with it in New Mexico State. In my second year there, we played UTEP at home, and we won the game. And the students went out and tore down the goalpost, pulled it down.
How many students did it take to do it?
Well, these are Aggies, so you had to count about 100 or less.
About 100. Yeah, and it's UTEP, Alabama Crimson Tide, pretty much the same level of competition there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys agree to that.
All right, Jim, thanks for calling.
No, I'm going to tell you what happened. What I did, so it didn't happen the next year. Next game, it was in New Mexico. So we greased the poles when they were before we let the fans in. So we greased up the poles, so there's no way that you could climb that pole because it was so slippery with Vaseline type of grease, and nobody could go up the pole. So we didn't have to worry about tearing it down.
So when you, as a modern goalpost, does it disconnect somewhere? Do you have to chop it with an axe? How do you even get a goalpost down?
No, it's bolted down. They have to get so much weight up there that it bends
and bend it and break it off. All right.
Yeah, they have to.
All right.
But they can't get up there if it's all greased up. So we did that.
Okay, Jim, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Great talking to you.
All right, we'll see you, Jim.
See you, Jim.
See you, Jim.
Wrestler Guy. Hello, Wrestler Guy. Hello? Wrestler Guy.
I know, Wrestler Guy.
Guy who wrestles.
Yes. Looks like we lost him. Sorry about that. All right, Cappy, we're going to wrap things up. You're going to be at Border City Ale House tonight for Monday Night Football.
Yes.
No reason to believe that the Chiefs don't win this one and continue.
I don't know,
winning.
Buzz. I mean, listen, Alabama lost. Anything's possible in sports. You know that. From week to week, look what there was a lot of upsets yesterday in the NFL. You never know what's going to happen.
People in our app chat are saying the only reason the Chiefs are doing well is because the NFL and referees are trying to help them.
The NFL and it's a conspiracy
that
theory.
they always get the best calls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
have you noticed any favoritism towards the Chiefs?
No, not particularly. And by the way, look at here are the upsets that happened yesterday. Cardinals beat the 49ers in San Francisco or in Santa Clara where they play.
Right.
That was a big upset.
They were talking about the heat. This time of year in San Francisco, they said it was really hot.
Yeah, it was really hot. 102 degrees yesterday was the temperature in that Frisco game.
You know, which is funny because I've been in San Francisco in July and I had to buy a sweater.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
it's like their weather's upside down somehow. Yeah.
In the summer at night, especially
it gets cold.
It's freezing over there. That's right. I've been to games at Candlestick, and yeah, it gets very, very cold. You're right. Also, here's another upset that happened. Ravens beat the Bengals yesterday in overtime, 41-38. Vikings stayed undefeated. They beat the Jets in London, but in that game, Aaron Jones hurt his hip. And then in that Cardinals game, Will Hernandez suffered a torn MCL, I think, or a sprained MCL. It was was not a good day for ex-UTEP players playing in the NFL yesterday.
Now let's talk about ex-UTEP players playing in the WNBA finals.
Oh, there you go.
One you can follow.
That's right. In fact, congratulations to Kayla Thornton, the former Miner and Irvin great, because she will have the opportunity now to play in the WNBA finals as a member of the New York Liberty.
Was she not with the Liberty last year?
I'm sorry.
Liberty.
Say that again.
Was she not with the Liberty?
No, she was with the Liberty. She was with the Liberty last year. She played. I think she played in the NBA Finals last year.
Yeah, she was in the finals last year. Then.
Yes. Series starts in New York on Thursday. And this is going to be big because they had the best record in basketball in the WNBA during the regular season, and she played well yesterday. So Liberty ended up beating the Aces 76-62 to close them out, and Kayla came off the bench, and she's been pretty valuable so far. So someone that has the opportunity to try to win a WNBA championship with the New York Liberty. So looking forward to seeing if Kayla Thornton can get that done.
Let's go.
All right. By the way, guys, I have a lot to do tonight. Not just being at the L House, but trying to figure out, with all the games going on, football, baseball, NBA preseason. I mean, I've got to get to my underdog picks here with Underdog Fantasy, and I'm probably just going to combine a bunch because that's always the most fun when you can take all these different sports and put it in play. Because now that football is back and we've got the playoffs, going on for baseball and the NBA, so many things happening with Underdog. In fact, over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making their picks on Underdog. And I'm telling you, it's so much fun to play every day. There's something going on with Underdog Fantasy every single day, and I want to tell our listeners what they can do to get involved. In fact, making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. So here's what you do. Head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code KLAQ, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy. Promo code KLAQ to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
I've got a true crime report coming up, but I wanted to mention John Mellencamp is having a birthday today. He's 73.
JCM?
Yeah, John Cougar Mellencamp, but he dropped the Cougar. They didn't like Mellencamp. They said that's a dumb name, so you're John Cougar. So he did 2 albums as John Cougar, and then they compromised, and he was John Cougar Mellencamp.
Has he ever just called him Cougar Mellencamp and dropped the John?
No, that's the only combination they haven't done. You got a favorite John Mellencamp song? I almost said John Cougar.
I always liked Pink Houses. It's a classic.
How about I Fight Authority, Authority Always Wins?
Oh, that's a good one, too. I like, that's a fun one.
What about Jack and Diane?
Jack and Diane's a classic.
That was a number 1. And so in honor of John Mellencamp's 73rd birthday, we get to play this again.
Sucking on a chili dog. 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 Chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a dog. Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on.
Everybody.
Sucking on chili dog. Sucking on a dog. Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on chili. Sucking on a dog. Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on chili dog.
There you go, Cappy.
A little bitty about Jack and Diane. 2 American kids sucking on a chili dog.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday on the Oscar Audio insurance that's affordable and protects your valuables. Request a quote, OscarAudio.agency.com.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
It's time to get to a true crime report, actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation. And I hope we have time to get them all in today.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Here we go. Our crime stories from all over the
United States and sometimes even beyond. I got quite a few to get to here.
You do?
A 28-year-old man in Arizona was arrested after allegedly hiding under vehicles at a car wash to stare at women's feet.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
28-year-old Jesse Johnson was arrested.
Can't you get a job at Foot Locker?
Yeah, there's a career out there for you.
Yeah.
After allegedly hiding under vehicles at a car wash so he could look at their feet. He parked next to a woman who was vacuuming their vehicles.
Oh, she's got some nice toesies.
Get out and crawl under their cars and remain there for several minutes.
Oh, my God.
How would you feel finding that guy?
He's
What if it was closed-toe shoes? Like, does he still just fantasize down there?
Don't know, man. I don't get the feet thing at all. I mean, people have feet.
Remind me
Some
later
people's are
to-
more attractive than others, I'm sure. But
Remind me later to show you a video that Alberto sent me.
oh, God.
Is it a foot video?
Yeah, it is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, is he under a car at a car wash?
No.
Here's an employee of the car wash talking about catching Jesse Michael Johnson in the act.
Going through the video footage, I watched it happen. She was already in the process of calling the cops. There's no way he's coming back for a third time. He keeps walking back and forth, and you'll see him do that. He's watching to see what she's doing. When we talk to her, she's in the back seat vacuuming her car on that driver's side, and he slips up underneath that front tire. He was out underneath the vehicle for about 5 to 6 minutes, I want to say, and then he slips out and goes to this back passenger tire and is like trying to fiddle with it, making it seem like he's there the entire time.
Wow. What a technique.
Those piggies went to the market.
Just to watch a bit of Tootsies.
Well, Tootsies, yeah.
3 people in Ohio are accused of faking the suicide of their friend, a registered sex offender. The friends claimed to police officers that they saw him fall into a lake and not come back up. Brianna Watkins and Matthew Hunt are 2 of the friends. They face charges of inducing panic, false alarm, obstructing justice, a pretty long list. They claimed that their friend, Richard Newland, 40, a registered sex offender, had drowned and they saw him go under at the lake. The searchers included emergency medical service. Oh, yeah, this cost a lot of money. Fire, police, divers were there. Dive teams suited up. They combed the water of the lake. They could not find Newland. At some point, authorities realized it was a hoax.
What?
Newland was arrested days after the search. He's a registered sex offender stemming from a 2013 conviction.
After being at a car wash looking at all these ladies' feet.
Yeah, well, this is a victim under 13, so they weren't washing their own car. The cause of the alleged hoax was due to a deadline he missed to report his location to authorities. He's required to do that every 6 months.
Damn.
Let's see. Wonder. Now I guess I don't have audio to go along with that one. Sorry about that, guys. Couple stories from Tulsa, where I grew up, not too far from Tulsa. So a couple of stories. An Oklahoma woman was arrested for DUI after she was caught drunk driving on the runway of an airport. She was at the Tulsa Riverside Airport. So Riverside is more of like one of those bedroom community airports. It's not like the big international airport. They fly a lot of Piper Cubs and Cessnas and things out there. Like a regional
pond hopper. What do they call them? Yeah,
puddle jumpers.
Puddle jumper.
Air traffic control put in the call to police and said that the woman's Nissan was blocking a runway and there was a plane circling trying to land. A pilot who was taxiing his plane saw the Nissan, so he got out and confronted the driver. He saw that the car was full of beer cans, Nico. So he reached in the car and took the driver's keys. The driver, Bonnie Campbell, was arrested for felony aggravated DUI and taken to a hospital for treatment. Listen to this next sentence, though. Officers said they found 18 empty beer cans inside the car.
Whoa.
Along with a box of Coors Light. So either a 12 or an 18 or a 24, whatever it was. an empty six-pack container, and a garbage bag full of other beer cans. She blew a .34 on the breathalyzer, more than 4 times the legal limit.
Holy crap.
And not too far away from there, at Bigsby High School, a principal got in a lot of trouble for showing up at a high school dance drunk.
Do you know where Bigsby is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bigsy's just south of Tulsa, very close to Jenks, where the other story was from. Police say Mickey Raplogel, the principal of Bixby High School, showed up at the fall dance smelling of alcohol, slurring, and on top of that, reportedly got handsy with students on the dance floor.
I'm sorry. It's not funny.
Joanna.
Police had enough evidence to charge him with public intoxication, but they are investigating more of his behavior. They're asking students to come forward if they got felt up or touched.
Or touched, or they're like, has your teacher showed up absolutely sloshed?
It's like, which one?
I'm not a teacher, but if I had to, I'd have to do that.
I feel like it would be a requirement.
Like mandatory.
And a heroic cop in Minnesota put his own life on the line to save an 18-year-old whose car had turned into a runaway vehicle. He couldn't stop accelerating, and the car kept going faster and faster. The 18-year-old named Sam Dutcher was driving into Minnesota from North Dakota when his vehicle, a 2022 Honda Pilot, would not stop accelerating, and the brakes didn't work. Apparently, they found out later the vehicle's computer had malfunctioned.
Oh, my God.
I'd never heard of that before. So the kid, the 18-year-old, called 911, freaked out, and said that his car just kept going faster and faster. Nothing was working. They tried to troubleshoot it over the phone, so Sam drove another 20 minutes in the runaway car, flying through intersections at 80 miles an hour, then 90, 100.
Oh, my God.
All the way up to 113, Joanna. The police were hoping to drop those spike strips in his path.
Uh-huh.
He was going too fast. They didn't have time
even
to do
work.
Mm-mm. The police saw that he was headed toward a T in the road. They knew they had to do something because he was not going to be able to make the turn at that speed. He was already going 113 at that time. So they got on with him, and one officer, State Trooper Zach Groover, raced up to him. Another cop, Deputy Zach Johnson, instructed Sam to crash into the cruiser that was ahead of him. I guess maybe this is like a maneuver you're supposed to do that only the cops know in the case
They're
of
like
a runaway
Fast and
vehicle.
Furious style,
He was
crashed
told,
into it.
hit the back of the police cruiser. So we're going to hear some of the audio from this stunning moment.
Hey, this thing is accelerating. My foot is not on the gas.
Is the accelerator stuck down?
I was going a lot faster than we thought it was. I started to go, I'm going to die tonight.
Yeah, I'll try to get in front of you and add a little extra brake power.
Probably 130. I know squad tops out around 140, so probably somewhere in that range.
Yes, run into the back of his car.
I don't think I did anything special. Really, I think what it comes down to is I just had the fastest car and was able to get in front of them.
All right, so that was State Trooper Zach Groover. It was the Deputy Zach Johnson who instructed him to crash into the back of it. He did. Both vehicles skidded to a stop. Miraculously, Joanna, no injuries.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, pretty incredible, right?
Fast and Furious style. They never get hurt.
And that is your true crime report.
I deal in crime and that kind of thing.
I owe my life of crime to the fact that I was a dropout.
Just last week I got this.
Well, that's it. Show's over.
What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is.
Right, that's the end.
And that's the end. That's the end.
The morning show will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Now.
Question for you. Would you rather pay $150 a month or $15 a month to work out with the same high-quality gym equipment? At Planet Fitness, you can get top-tier equipment for $15 a month. Plus, save $28 or more when you join now during our Strong Choice sale. Our weights weigh the same, you just don't pay the same. Enjoy free fitness training and 24-hour access at most clubs, all in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.